good when you're doing what you're doing. Cause you're choosing, so we grooving, line dancing to the music. Got these spurs click clacking, wide open cause I'm drinking. I'm doing my own thing, I don't care what haters thinking. Got my boots shined up, my jeans on heavy stars. The mufflers riding dirty and we got them double bars.
Okay, I'm riding in the dually with my boots and my spurs. I've been hunting all winter and I got some new fur. Got a brand new girl without a care in the world. I'm a brand new cowboy. Yeah, she wants the diamonds and the pearls and the silver and the gold. Got my partners in the valley and they down to take a soul. Like my money, like my women, under pressure it don't fold. I'm a brand new cowboy.
Got a stone cold heart, even bigger ego. Got a mean old lady, but I'm still her hero. I done came down swinging and banging so long, Dad. Even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Like my gin, whiskey, vodka, prefer my bourbon. We're getting drunk in the pasture, it was after hours. Getting naked in the room, then we hit the shower. Oh, I feel the voodoo in the air and the smoke taking over. Vehicle gassed up, we heating up the rotors. Going 95 in the 70, tell Mr. Officer. Brand new cowboys on the loose.
Okay, I'm riding in the dually with my boots and my spurs. I've been hunting all winter and I got some new fur. Got a brand new girl without a care in the world. I'm a brand new cowboy. Yeah, she wants the diamonds and the pearls and the silver and the gold. Got my partners in the valley and they down to take a soul. Like my money, like my women, under pressure it don't fold. I'm a brand new cowboy. Okay, I'm rolling on my wheeler. I'm looking like a dealer. You know I got some charm. I got more arms than caterpillars.
I got liquor on my liver, tobacco on my lawn. Some booty in my pickle, watch her back it up and down.
Rubbing booties, grabbing cup. You know we getting filthy. I got a bent over on the back of my doohickey.
On the back of that 250, we for Willie down the interstate. Texas over everything with neons on my
I
license
think I
plate.
wanna hit a bare skin. Nancy but classy, put her hair inside a hairpin.
Spin on it like a cup of snuff. We draw down cause we tough. Spill Coopers on her butt. Now my pistol riding up.
Yeah, I'm riding in the dually with my boots and my spurs. I've been hunting all winter and I got some new fur. Got a brand new girl without a care in the world. I'm a brand new cowboy. Yeah, she wants the diamonds and the pearls and the silver and the gold. Got my partners in the valley and they down to take a soul. Like my money, like my women, under pressure it don't fold. I'm a brand new cowboy.
Never giving up. No, I'm never giving up. Never gonna give it up. No, I'm never gonna stop. Well, I've never been the kind to walk away from a good fight. You know I got it all up in my DNA. You're damn right. You can try to slow me down, but I don't stop. I'm never giving up. No, I'm never giving up. Come at me with what you got. 'Cause I'm never gonna stop. I'm never giving up. No, I'm never gonna stop. Come at me with what you got. 'Cause I'm never gonna
Excuse me, everybody. We have a car out back that is about to be towed. The license plate is RQX0447. If this is your car, please come to the back immediately, or else your car will get towed. Thank you.
Yeah. Look, I'm the loungiest, you dehydrated, drip is the cloudiest. We're sleeping on you, but persevere through the drowsiness. Look, I'm peeling like Ambien, use a mannequin, and I'm easy fitting a hole in every blouse you in. Ain't no better with languages, been the shadiest. Competition slim when in Rome, my Marcus Aurelius. I ain't from round here. The greatest living and hitting is what you found here. Shoulder chipping, your vixen, loving addiction. I am not the son of a gun to load up a clipping. Talking sheepin', so I ain't paying attention. More or less, more the feeling that you was missing. Intravenous, the DNA of a genius. Line for line, my precision point of a seamstress. Thread the needle of sentences ending lethal. Bounty placed on the head of the who seen it. Grew up uncomfortable watching Huxtables. I figured my life at times would juxtapose with 40 calibers in my backpack, next to the green Skittles and Lunchables. Systemic conditions made me a menace. The flipping the bricks, it made me a gymnast. Real recognize real, right? But I look in your eyes and can't see I'm only getting better. That I'm only getting better. Came from the bottom and ain't never been a tether. I ain't never been a tether. Oh, you trapping, can't respect you if you ratting for that cheddar. Say you ratting for that cheddar. I ain't never fronted, just know how to stay ahead of niggas. Yeah, I know how to stay ahead of niggas. When they ask me how I'm doing, well, I'm only getting better. Zig and active, you know, moving androgynous. Became well-read, blue pill to your consciousness. Part in the politics, hello bipartisans. This is a partnership, I am the art of it. Beat to the heart of it. This is what happens with hoods and get scholarships. Bachelors with doctorates, Persians and Spartan kicks. Homie is big as hell, but heaven is sponsoring. I pray that I'm Christ-like. Lucy annoying and ask what the price like. You can't afford it. I'm on my 10K. I was a pin play. SWAT was on my block. It ain't the Kimbe. More like an icon. Living within state. Say that I'm sophomore. What is this, 10th grade? Smoking on Alibaba. Figure the goat is here. DJ was starting drama. Time is provoking fear. And I'm only getting better. That I'm only getting better. Came from the bottom and ain't never been a tether. I ain't never been a tether. Oh, you trapping, can't respect you if you ratting for that cheddar. Say you ratting for that cheddar. I ain't never fronted, just know how to stay ahead of niggas. Yeah, I know how to stay ahead of niggas. When they ask me how I'm doing, well, I'm only getting better. Came from the bottom and ain't never been a tether. Oh, you trapping, can't respect you if you ratting for that cheddar. I ain't never fronted, just know how to stay ahead of niggas. When they ask me how I'm doing, well, I'm only getting better. That I'm only getting better. Came from the bottom and ain't never been a tether. I ain't never been a tether. Oh, you trapping, can't respect you if you ratting for that cheddar. Say you ratting for that cheddar. I ain't never fronted, just know how to stay ahead of niggas. Yeah, I know how to stay ahead of niggas. When they ask me how I'm doing, well, I'm only getting better.
It's your boy Deuce McDamian, the macadamia nut. Hot power. You know we gotta stay boiling hot. We do it so unorthodox, like that seals of a Cactus spot. We so hot power. Stay hotter than a burning flame. We the type of people that a party brings. Triple how we do it, so against the grain. Fort Worth BX81G. Insane 7, I just might be. Clear the smoke, it's hard to see. All I gotta say is don't with me. Take no prisoners, he or she. 1, 2, 3, and your soul delete. Enough said, no need repeat. DOAJDOE. Your heart swell and suddenly bust. Hate and digging so hard to trust. They don't give a damn, so I don't give a fuck. Turn them into ashes and snort your dust. Better watch it, cause I might go psycho. About to get wrecked, better go get Geico. Stand tall like the Eiffel Tower. Get large lump sums by the hour. High power. You know we gotta stay boiling hot. We do it so unorthodox. Like that, see us overpack the spot. We so high powered. Stay hotter than a burning flame. We the type of people that a party brings. Trip on how we do it so against the grain. My heart don't seem to beat from time to time. Walking the streets with this loaded 9 of mine. The city I'm from, it won't rest. Dying 7 minutes or less. Can't wait to penetrate your vest. The land of the wicked and totally lost. My murder weapon can be tossed. I'm ready to set it off. Like I say, it's Judgment Day, you dig? The AK got a mind of its own, my nigga. Move the crowd from front to back. Man, this bum up here don't know how to act. The gristle in your vertebrae crack and snap loose. Bleed from the scene, throwing up the 6'2". If needed, I got proof. In a 60-something coupe with no roof. Letting loose, tell the pick up for them proof. Enemies die so quick. You ain't heard, you wouldn't. They shoot up with the mentally disturbed. You know we gotta stay boiling hot. We do it so unorthodox. Like that, see us overpack the spot. We so high powered. Stay hotter than a burning flame. We the type of people that a party brings. Trip on how we do it so against the grain. What goes around and come right back. Cause you reap what you sow and it's like that. Same one-way road with the right track. See, life is a bad shit with a fight back. One of a kind, show no weakness. Quitters don't win, winners don't give in. Settle for last, wave the flag. Either fly high or you burn and crash. Time keeps on and it will not stop. Quitting ain't an option, we all we got. Walk a bite, you must go get it. Haters got a knife trying to cut you with it. Smile in your face, but you cannot trust. The snakes and the fakes, they don't get no. This is real life as we keep on turning. Didn't start the fire, but it keep on burning. High powered. You know we gotta stay boiling hot. We do it so unorthodox. Like that, see us overpack the spot. We so high powered. Stay hotter than a burning flame. We the type of people that a party brings. Trip on how we do it so against the grain. Yes, sir. Like I say, this your boy Deuce McDaniel, the macadamia nut, etc. Yeah.
And we taking our time. Yeah, it's all about the vibe. Okay.
We're taking it we're just taking our time. And we're just living our lives. And we got nowhere to go. So let's stay here the whole night. Cause all we feel is good vibes. Yeah, all we feel is good vibes.
Vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about that hate. We just pass it to the side, grab a drink, hold it up, say what's good, feeling right. All your friends, they invited, bring a bottle through the night. Tell them, we gon' get it lit, we gon' get it lit. Get a little throw, get a little bent, have a good time. Ay, and you don't need a vent. On tilt, we gon' really get it in, right? Right. Ain't no time to be lazy, oh no. I got a dozen girls coming, they crazy for show. And not a single girl rating an 8 or below. I swear to God, they gon' love it the way that I flow. Hey, yeah, and we gon' take it slow. Spending time while you turn up at a vacant show. You can take your time, shawty, you don't need to go. We at a house party chillin' if you need to know.
We're taking it we're just taking our time. And we're just living our lives. And we got nowhere to go. So let's stay here the whole night. Cause all we feel is good vibes. Yeah, all we feel is good vibes.
I've been vibing with you from the jump. See the crib, I ain't even got a stunt. Making hits, I don't ever try to blunt. When I pull up, everybody wanna front now. They acting brand new every time I touch down. And to my haters, all I gotta say is what now? They say hello to the new whip, flirt with your new chick. All on TMZ, so the rights all exclusive. I'm playing with you, I know you playing too. We laying back in the cut, got the eagle view. I do this all the time, really ain't nothing new. I ain't frontin' on you, shorty, what I say is true. And now we chillin', we ain't worried about the biz though. Ay, stress-free, living like kids though. And if the vibe stay right like it is, when it's all said and done, we gon' end up more than friends.
We're taking it we're just taking our time. And we're just living our lives. And we got nowhere to go. So let's stay here the whole night.
When things get difficult, you gotta reach inside yourself. You're not alone.
Now maybe what you feeling is hard, or maybe what you feeling is dark, or maybe what you feeling is a feeling you ain't never felt and you don't even know where to start. But if you go in thinking that you can't do it, then guess what? You can't do it. I'm an example right here and I'll prove it. You will never get ahead without movement. Truth is, everything you do won't be the best. Failure can push you into success. Don't sit around in a mood and feel unrest. Do what you do, here are the steps. First, you gotta see it. Next, you gotta believe it. Then you go achieve it, repeat it, and then complete it. Class is in session for the teaching. Pay attention, this is what you see. Now when it feels like one thing after the other is going wrong, then you have to recover. You gotta dig deep. You gotta dig deep.
Push through the impossible.
And when you're feeling down on your luck and feel stuck, make sure that you don't give up. Get up, dig deep. You gotta dig deep.
Push through the impossible.
Have you ever wanted to quit? Have you ever felt you wasn't legit? Have you ever felt not on pace, maybe out of place, or maybe like you wasn't a fit? Feeling like that is in the norm. When you feel like you trapped up in a storm, but there's no looking back, keep it going. Now you got a new life, you were born. Battles get in the way, so channel your inner strength. Grind it to the end, you're stronger than what you think. Do not panic if you happen to sink. Instead remember this, cause you are the missing link. First you gotta see it, next you gotta believe it. Then you go achieve it, repeat it, and then complete it. Class is in session for the teaching. Pay attention, this is what you see. Now when it feels like one thing after the other is going wrong, then you have to recover. You gotta dig deep. You gotta dig deep.
Push through the impossible.
And when you're feeling down on your luck and feel stuck, make sure that you don't give up. Get up, dig deep. You gotta dig deep.
Push through the impossible.
There's only two types of people in life. Champions and those who spend their entire lives trying to get a shot at the championship. You got winners and those who wish they could win. Which one are you? Cause we know who we are. Yeah, we came to play. Gotta get tough. Ain't no surrender when you go against us. No, we came to play and never give up. Who want the title? Come and try your luck. Cause we came to play. Better bring your A game. Cause we bringing the same thing. Yeah, we came to play. We came to play. Yeah, get out the way. Cause we came to play. They don't know what hit them. Came into the building, we crushing the competition. Last I checked, we was on top and never going under. We reign supreme from the winter back to summer, yeah. Cause winners never take a vacation. Going all the way, no hesitation. Bring the fans out, it's the moment they've been waiting for. Beat you down and broadcast it to the nations. Yeah, so go and put your hands up. I'ma score then, make the crowd stand up. Yeah, you only get one chance, so when the game is on, then it's time to man up. We came to play, gotta get tough. Ain't no surrender when you go against us. No, we came to play and never give up. We want the title, come and try your luck. Cause we came to play, better bring your A game. Cause we bringing the same thing. Yeah, we came to play, we came to play. Get out the way, cause we came to play.
is you dehydrated. Drip is the cloudiest. We sleeping on you, but persevere through the drowsiness. Look, I'm peeling like Ambien user mannequin, and I'm easy fitting a hole in every blouse you in. Ain't no better with languages, been the shadiest. Competition slim when in Rome, my Marcus Aurelius. I ain't from round here. The greatest living and hitting is what you found here. Shoulder chipping, your vixen loving the ditch. I am not the son of a gun to load up a clipping. Talking sheepin', so I ain't paying attention. More or less, more the feeling that you was missing. Intravenous, the DNA of a genius. Line for line, my precision point of a seamstress. Thread the needle of sentences ending lethal. Bounty placed on the head of the into seen it. Grew up uncomfortable watching Huxtables. I figured my life and times were juxtaposed. With 40 calibers in my backpack, next to the green Skittles and Lunchables. Systemic conditions made me a menace. The flipping the bricks, it made me a gymnast. Real recognize real, right? But I look in your eyes and can't see I'm only getting better. Came from the bottom and ain't never been a telling. I ain't never been a telling. Oh, you trapping, can't respect you if you ratting for that cheddar. I ain't never fronted, just know how to stay ahead of niggas. Yeah, I know how to stay ahead of niggas. When they ask me how I'm doing, well, I'm only getting better. Zig and active, you know, moving androgynous. Became well-read, blue pill to your consciousness. Part in the politics, hello bipartisans. This is a partnership, I am the art of it. Beat to the heart of it. This is what happens with hoods and getting scholarships. Bachelors with doctorates.
Good evening. It's a major American city dealing with an epidemic of violence. The shooting of a man in broad daylight on the streets of Chicago, apparently captured on his own camera phone, have brought into jarring focus a surge in shooting.
Providing us with the statistics that show violent crime in the city.
Please pray for our families.
The people in this room are going to change America.
We got love, love, love. You better believe it. We got love, love, love. You better believe it.
I got house in the carriage, yeah. I got black love and marriage, yeah. They gon' say you can't have it, but I'm like, don't kill the messenger. We gon' break the stigma up. Huxtables turn to Obamas. It ain't about where you been, where you from, what you got. It's all about love. Self-love is the best love. When you gon' take that wristband, that petite party bent over. Don't need makeup to dress you up. I gave birth on the bathroom floor. Just me eat on the headphone calls. Don't like this life defeat you. I hope this message reach you. Throw your hands up. Play catch with the hundreds. Love is the new money. I'm just chillin' with the homies with the hardest. Throw your hands up. Play catch with the hundreds. Love is the new money. I'm just chillin' with the homies with the hardest.
We got love, love, love. You better believe it. We got love, love, love. You better believe it.
I live in abundance. Love is the new money. I'm mentally wealthy, spiritually conscious. I'm fresh out of honest. I'm ballin' and ballin'. I play with the hundreds. Love is the new money. That's my frequency. Spark up, burn the sage. Clear the room, kill the hate. Love is the new way. Play catch with the hundreds. Love is the new money. I'm just chillin' with the homies with the hardest. Play catch with the hundreds. Love is the new money. I'm just chillin' with the homies with the hardest.
Love, love, love.
gentlemen, without further ado, please give a big welcome to your BLEXIT founder, Candace Owens.
What's up, Atlanta? Yes. I love this. Of all the things that I do, this is the thing that I love to do most. Being in a room with free people, free minds. You know, when me and my creative director made that video that you just saw, that music video, I was nostalgic for something. Those images that you see probably made you feel something, like seeing the black family together, right? That old school feeling of the black family together. And when I started having an awakening, which is what I call it, which happened for me a couple of years ago, I asked myself some important questions. The first thing was, what happened to black TV? When I was growing up, it was the Huxtables, the Winslows, the Jeffersons. I was watching Nick at Night and I was seeing black families together. There was a literal show called Family Matters. Steve Urkel, sometimes he was Stefan, right? Stefan was cute, very cute. And now you wake up today and try to think about that same types of TV. They don't exist anymore. It's been taken away. Now we have Love and Hip Hop. What is that doing to black minds? What is that doing when we're not being told that our families should be together, but we should be pursuing a hip-hop lifestyle, baby mamas, multiple fathers? This is what the children are seeing. Our lifestyle has completely shifted because the media has completely shifted and made things negative. So I said, what do I want to do with BLEXIT? I want to create an experience, right? I want to remind people what it was like so we can wake up and realize what we've been missing. This country has fallen apart. We've been further together, and yet we're more successful. We've made so much progress, and yet the theme of racism seems to be tearing the country apart. What you're going to see tonight is the story of Black America. First and foremost, we have to start with where we are. I'm going to come out and speak to you later, but there are some people that I want you to hear from first. Every single person that hits this stage, we don't have big names. We don't pay people to come here and speak and get you wild up. We actually have people that have real stories. Black Americans that have woken up and realized that something is really, really wrong right now within our culture. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. Up first, we have an amazing speaker, but first and foremost, we have to be realistic about where we are today, because that video you saw is not where Black America is today. Right now, we are essentially in a wilderness, and I will show you what it feels like today. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the show.
The Great Society rests on abundance and liberty for all.
What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Or does it explode?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage author and conservative activist David J. Harris Jr.
Stretch my hands to you. Life like this is what your life like. Try to live the life right. People really know you push your buttons like type right. This is like a movie.
What's up, Atlanta?
Every single night, right? Every single fight, right?
What's up, Atlanta?
I was screaming at my daddy, told me
Are you guys excited to be here or what?
Woo!
This will be on my Instagram later. And Twitter. God bless you guys. Man, full house up in here. Are you kidding me? How many of y'all came from distances to get here? That's the beautiful thing about this movement. And this BLEXIT experience is unlike anything else that's happening in the country right now. And you guys are a part of it. You guys are what is making this experience something that I truly believe is going to change our country forever. So honored to have Candace's grandfather in the house. Sir, God bless you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for all that you taught your kids and your grandkids. Thank you so much for being who you are and raising an amazing young woman. Pleasure to have you here. Guys, we are in such a pivotal moment in history right now. It could not be more divisive on one side and yet more unified on the other. Looking at this room right now, this is exactly what America should be. We're unified. We're not worried about color. We're not worried about gender. We're not worried about anything other than what makes this country great, and that is the principles of the Declaration and the Constitution and of conservatism that we all hold dear. And that's what we are about. You know, there's so much race baiting and division that's happening in our country right now. It's sad. It is so sad. And as a person, as a man that tries to seek God, anybody else in here try to seek God? As a man that understands that I am flawed and I need a savior, and that is not a president, that's not a politician, that is Yeshua, that's Jesus. As a person that understands that I've been saved by grace through faith in who Jesus is and what he did for me, that's what unites us all. When you have that understanding, that's what unites us all. Well, guess what? It's under attack in our country right now. And it's the same racial division and divisiveness that pushed to keep black folks down in this history, in the history of our country, that is trying to do the exact same thing today. They're trying to tear us all apart and make it all about color. Well, I'm appreciative for BLEXIT, that does stand for Blacks Exiting, right? Because it is so sad to me that for 60 years, our black community has been blindly pledging allegiance to a particular political party that I believe hasn't done anything for us. It is sad to me, like many of you in here, I'm sure, when you're outspoken about your faith, when you're outspoken about your political beliefs, when you're outspoken about how you feel about what's going on in our country, you get labeled Uncle Tom. You know what? I say thank you when somebody says that. I'm like, and please go read the book. He was a hero. He was a hero. You're regurgitating something that somebody told you was derogatory and you don't even know what you're talking about. That is a sad state of so many people in our country today. They don't even know why they're standing for what they're standing for. This is a movement of people saying, think for yourself. Do your own research. What are your values? What do you stand for? And then look at the political parties and say, do they represent you? And I'm sorry, but for me personally, I can never vote for a party whose part of their platform was killing babies. Never. I never could, I never will, ever. That was the crux for me. And I gotta tell you, can I be real with you guys? It saddens me. And I took some flack. I posted a video of me listening to Kanye's song, God Is. Anybody in here heard that song or that album? Thank you, Kanye West, for sharing your heart, for keeping it real. I'm listening to Kanye's song. I'm in my car. And I was getting wrecked as what I felt Kanye was saying and what he's been sharing all over the news and his media hits. He's saying we've been brainwashed. 20 million black babies in this country are gone. 44 million black Americans, and almost half of that wiped out because of a party's platform that is for ending their lives. I was overwhelmed by that. It doesn't stop there. 60+ million, 64 million babies. I weep for all the babies. But something hit me when I was thinking about how Kanye is saying what I feel so many pastors, white or black, have failed. And how have they failed? I can hear it already. This is how I feel that pastors have failed. When they allow a Democrat to come to their church and speak, and they promote them openly, and then they bash a president that is openly for life of babies. They are supporting the genocide of black children, of white children, and of the growth of this country. Can I call it what it is? It's evil. Stop the genocide. I was driving in my car, I recorded that, and I was a bubbling mess. I was bawling, but I felt God on what I was saying. I felt the need to share that bubbling, blubbering, wet-faced self video because it wasn't about me. How many of you guys know it's not about you? It's about the message that God wants to push through you. How many of you in here are on all 4 big tech social media companies? Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Put your hand up if you're on all 4 of them. Look around the room. Leave your hand up if you're on all 4 of them. That doesn't work, folks. You know why? How are we going to reach the masses when we're only tapping into one social media platform? We've got to be on all 4 of them so that you can share the messages from people that you love and support on all 4 of them. Because you know what? The left, they're coordinated. And they don't care about each other's garbage. They'll hide it. Just so as long as they can push that narrative that promotes their agenda. We need to be on all 4 of them. I just actually got my page unpublished on Facebook 2 days ago. I've been battling with Facebook garbage for 2 years. They don't like what I share. I don't fit the narrative. I've never voted Democrat. I didn't vote for Obama. I voted for Trump, and I'm going to vote for him again in 2020. Because he shares my values. He represents what I represent. Freedom, limited government. Do you understand the tax cuts? The tax cuts alone has brought such an influx of business into our country that has created $100 billion to go into opportunity zones around this country. That's 9,000 communities around all 50 states. Majority, minority, black communities that are going to have $100 billion going into that community to rebuild that community. And where's the credit? You don't even hear about it, can you? The liberal media doesn't share it. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the fact that he gave $360 million to HBCUs last year and then increased it to $404 million this year, more than ever in history. They don't want to talk about that. Oh, no, he's supposed to be racist. He's supposed to be racist. Well, he just showed up 2 days ago here in Atlanta to launch a Black Voices for Trump coalition. But oh, wait, I thought he was a racist. He had Alveda King get up there and speak. Dr. Martin Luther King's niece, but I thought he was a racist. Has Ben Carson on his administration, but I thought he was a racist. Ben Carson's a brilliant man that came from the bottom, and now he's way up there. We've got to stop listening, and we've got to start promoting. We've got to promote the voices that are out there. We've got to do it on all 4 platforms. I'm so thankful for what God has done through Kanye. Anybody else in here thankful for what God's done through Kanye's life? Now, don't get it twisted. Kanye's still a man, like anybody else. I don't put my faith in Kanye. I put my faith in what I see God's doing in Kanye. And what he's doing is amazing. And can I talk to the church? Is there some church folks in here? Can I talk to the church for a minute? Are you ready for revival? Are you ready for revival? Are you ready for revival? Because it's coming. I believe it's here. And we as the church have to know how to love each other and welcome people, no matter how they come in. We can't try to conform them to what we think a Christian needs to be. I hear so much garbage on my news feed, social media. Oh, you can't trust Kanye. You hear me saying that? I said, did you ever read the Bible? I'm talking to a believer, right? Do you ever read the Bible? You ever heard of somebody named Paul? He wrote 19 books of the New Testament Bible. The church was forever and will be forever impacted by his life. Did you know that before he had one encounter with Yeshua, he was murdering Christians? Keep talking about Kanye. Love believes all, it hopes all, it endures all. We got to believe. So many Christians have been praying for revival. What if it didn't come in the box you asked for it to come in? Jesus sure didn't. They killed him. Oh, no, you're not the Messiah. We're going to kill you. We're taking you out. For Kanye to have these Sunday services and for his songs to be filled with God's presence, there is a convergence taking place. I'm going to hop back into current events and politics for a minute because God's been speaking to me about this for a year. I truly believe there is a convergence that is taking place of those that know and love their Papa God and those that love their country and what it stands for. There's a convergence taking place of people just like you, of like minds, of like hearts, that we may not all be exactly in the right place in any aspect of our life, but we know we love our freedoms, we love our values, and we love what this country stands for. And it's going to take all of us to get where we need to go, to wake up the masses, to ask people, to be peaceful to people. It's so easy to snap on somebody, right? Ooh, if you knew me before I knew him, I was quick. I'd talk up one side and down the other fast and wait for you to respond in some way that make me want to. I'm so thankful that he found me. Aren't you thankful that he found us? There is a convergence happening. I've been inspired and challenged personally to know the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. I'm studying it right now. It is a beautiful piece of work. It is a masterpiece. It's unlike anything in history. Hillsdale College has a free online course. I encourage you. We need to know the Declaration and the Constitution and why we believe it and why we need it so much. We need to know it so that when we talk to those people that don't know why we feel the way we feel, that don't know why we support this president, and don't understand the socialist views that are trying to take this country down, we can tell them exactly why we're the greatest country in the world. The Declaration it mentions God 4 times. It's a beautiful thing. The supreme judge, our judicial branch, talks about him as a legislative branch, talks about him as divine providence, the executive branch, and it talks about him as the creator. It attributes God having the ability to manage all of those different branches. But in our government, they're individually managed. They're separated for a reason. Every government that tries to manage all 3 of those, an aristocracy, well, guess what you get? Socialism, which is responsible for how many millions of deaths? And when you understand that that's what's made our country so great, you're going to want to fight to keep it that way. And you're going to want to fight against everybody and anybody that wants to try to turn it into anything else. I love when our president said, the United States of America will never be a socialist country. He's fighting for us. He's standing up for our values. He's standing up to make sure that we continue to have the values that we take for granted. So many people take it for granted. And you can only take something for granted so long when other people are trying to take it from you. And once it's gone, it's gone. We are the people that are a part of this movement that have the power and the potential and God's presence to wake up the masses. We are the people. You have the power. Whatever God is speaking to you, I want to pray. I don't know where I'm at on time. I want to pray because I really want you guys, not only from every other speaker, but I really want you guys, when you leave this place, to have a refreshed, renewed, and laser target focus on what you feel God is asking for you. Because nobody can live your life for you. We have to. We are responsible to say yes to what our Papa God asks us. I just try to live a life that says, yes, Daddy. Yes, Papa. So, Father, I just pray, just close your eyes. Just have this moment with your own Papa right now. Jesus said, Abba, Father. Abba is an intimate form of Father. It means Daddy. Father, Daddy God, we thank you. We thank you for what you're doing in this country. We thank you for the awakening that is taking place in the hearts and minds of people all over this country. And God, we ask for our families. So many of you have family members. I know I have family members that don't understand me, that think I hate them. They're lost. Father, we ask you to wake up our families. We ask you to use us or use someone else to wake up our families to join this fight. And God, I ask you right now, for everyone here and everybody watching this stream, that you would deposit a clarity of focus and of vision. Some of you have books that you need to write. You need to stop arguing with God. You need to write them. Some of you have op-eds. Some of you have poems you need to write. Some of you are in school and you know that there's people that you shouldn't be hanging out with, that you need to cut them off because they're poison to your mind and your heart. Some of you have businesses that you've dreamed of starting that you need to stop putting off. God, I pray you'd give every single person here. There's songs in here that need to be written. Maybe for that MAGA challenge the president talked about. God, I pray you would give a divinely inspired revolution and revelation of what your heart is for my brothers and my sisters in this room and watching. that they would leave here on fire and excited for you, for what you're doing, for this BLEXIT experience, and for what you have for them. There's people in here that need to make videos, need to stop fighting and arguing with God. You got to kick that fear out. Father, make it clear. Give them courage and give them excitement as you confirm to them that you are with them and you're excited for what you have for them. Father, bless my brothers and my sisters and help us in this fight. I thank you that you're with us, and I thank you that this is still just the beginning of the tipping point of seeing an absolute revolution in this country. In Jesus' name, amen. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Hey, one more thing. My book, Why I Couldn't Stay Silent, is on Audible right now. For those of you that haven't gotten my book yet, you can get it on Audible, Why I Couldn't Stay Silent. Forward written by Candace Owens. God bless you guys. Thank you all so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome comedian and political activist, Terrence K. Williams.
In 03, they told me not to drive. I bleached my hair for every time I could have died. But I survived. That's on God. I've been telling y'all since 05. The greatest artist resting or alive. That's on L.A. Reid. That's on Clive.
All right, can y'all hear me now? How's it going, Atlanta? I said, how y'all doing, Atlanta? Look at all these beautiful people in the building, baby. All these black folks that feel like a family reunion right now. But I am talking to my family because we all family. But it's good to be in Atlanta. But I came out here, I didn't come out here to joke around and make jokes. None of that. I wanted to, but I actually wanted to come out here and share my story and let Black America know, people period, know that the American dream is real. That you can be anybody, that you can do anything in this country that you want to do, no matter where you come from. So a lot of people ask me, Terrence, you know, how was your upbringing? Did you have a mother and a father? Were you in a two-parent household? And I actually grew up in foster care. My mother and my father were both addicted to drugs. My mother had 9 children, 6 different fathers, and none of them were around. And she eventually lost us in the system. She lost her rights eventually. I was in and out of shelters, homeless shelters, children's shelters, no family, separated from my siblings. I never even dreamed of being on a stage like this at all, coming from where I come from. But this is America. No matter where you come from, no matter how you are brought up, you have an opportunity. But I had many choices. I could have sold drugs. I used to be inspired to be a drug dealer. I wanted to be a thug. I wanted to gang bang. Well, first of all, I'm too small anyway, so. That's one reason why I really didn't go down that route. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oops. No, but for real though, I've been in over about 10 different foster homes, and there were times I felt like I could never be anybody. That I used to be like, I don't have a chance. My mom and daddy ain't around. I'm not about to be nobody. You know what? I'm gonna just sell drugs and make money. Don't nobody love me anyway. I stayed getting in trouble because I felt like nobody loved me. I felt like I didn't have a chance. I felt like The world owed me everything. I felt like I was a victim. And a lot of people made me feel like I was a victim. Oh, Terrence, it's okay. You was in foster care. It's okay that you did that. Don't worry about it. You're in foster care. You have an excuse. But to be honest with you, there are no excuses. There are no excuses. Don't nobody owe you nothing. I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you nothing. The white man Bob don't owe you nothing. The white lady Sally and Tammy don't owe you nothing. You know who owe you something? You owe yourself. And once I realized that I got my head on straight, once I realized that, but it took me a long time. It took me a very long time to realize that nobody owed me nothing. I mean, when I was thinking people owed me stuff, wasn't nothing coming to me. So I'm not gonna lie, that helped me out too. I'm like, well, maybe I gotta get it on my own. But I just really want people to know, people to understand. I go around and I talk to foster kids, to at-risk kids, to people with no mother, no father, and there are a lot of people out there that believe that because they grew up, that they believe that they grew up a certain way, that they grew up that they started from the bottom, that they cannot make it to the top. And that is a lie. That is a lie. We have the same opportunities that everybody else got, okay? You just gotta get up off your butt, get up off your narrow behind, stop being lazy and take those opportunities. Start walking through those doors, okay? There are people in this world right now that grew up with a mother and a father. I grew up with no mother and no father, and I'm doing way better than them. You know why? Because this is America. You can do anything you want to do. I love y'all, Atlanta. I love y'all, Atlanta. I love y'all, and I really want the best for everybody, not just for Black America, not just for Black America, but for America, period. I want the best for everybody. Black people need to know that the American dream is true. White people need to know that the American dream is true. Hispanics, Asians, everybody. We all go through things. Everybody go through something, okay? You're not the only one struggling with something. You are not the only one. Ooh, my blood pressure. Lord Jesus, I don't know how much time I got, but I don't care no more. Candace gonna have to drag me off this stage because I'm not going nowhere. I'm feeling the spirit. And I'm done when I say I'm done. I'm playing Candace because Candace's grandpa in the building, and I'm not about to disrespect your granddaughter because she told me you don't play. So, yeah. And I want to touch on something that David Harris was talking about killing babies and killing Black babies. I've heard some people say, well, you know what, Terrence? Your mother should have aborted y'all so you didn't have to go through what you went through. People have an excuse for killing babies. Oh, if the mother is not financially stable, she should kill the babies. No. And that's why I thank my mom. Even though I went through what I went through, I still love her, and I thank her for not aborting I thank her for not aborting. She had 9 children, and she did not abort none of us at all, and I thank her for that. Because you know what? We all deserve to be here no matter what. Just because your mama broke don't mean you gotta die. You want me to die because my mama can't buy no food? It's people out there that want to feed me. But you want me to die? Oh, no. So So I am totally against aborting babies. I'm totally against, I don't care what you say, okay? Because people say I should have been aborted. Because my mama was not financially or mentally stable to take care of me. But guess what? I started out in the foster homes, made it all the way to the White House, baby. I said I made it to the White House. The American dream is real. Went from the foster house to the White House, baby. So you can't tell me black people don't have opportunities in America. You can't tell me little black boys in the hood can never be anybody. That's a dang lie because I'm somebody, baby. And what you not about to do, you not about to tell me what I should believe in and who I should believe in and who I should vote for. Oh, Lord Jesus. No, because I get pissed off when people try to control me. When people try to tell me who I should believe in, okay? I believe in what I want to believe in, okay? Because I'm a free black man in America, baby. Baby, we in Atlanta, Georgia. Martin Luther King walked these streets and protested so I could say what I want to say. Boy, I ain't playing. You know what, Atlanta? I love y'all so much it was a blessing. God bless America. You can do whatever you want to do, baby.
Well, guess what? I'm the threat. We the smart black men that don't care about your lives.
So you say he's not doing anything for the people right now as the president of the United States? Lowest black unemployment, lowest Asian unemployment, lowest Latino unemployment, $100 billion towards black communities. First step back, jail reform bill, stock market at an all-time high, best economy we've ever had. These are all facts. You can Google it right now.
What has he done to benefit the country?
I just told you.
Repeat it.
Will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream.
Look, this guy, he say he likes my outfit. Look, check him out. He say he likes my outfit.
If I want it, I go get it. Can't nobody stop. Republicans is about can. Republic can. We can do what we want. The only enemy you have is yourself, and that's reality. If you black and you a Democrat, you're an idiot. You won't need a slave if you want to be a slave. It's a choice. If you don't choose to be a slave, you're not a slave. Y'all like Obama because he was smooth? All criminals are smooth, man. They don't want to represent their country. Get out of here then. We Americans. I'm telling you, it changes the whole narrative. Democrats, not Republicans, we took you out of slavery. This racist ass president seems to be doing a lot for the minorities. Y'all want to paint this narrative, make white people feel guilty for stuff they had nothing to do with? That's retarded. But I'm black. I'm not supposed to be talking like this. That means I'm dumb. That means I can't do anything. That means I have to think like everybody else. We have to be sheep. They don't even have to sell you their vote. They don't even got to buy it from you because black people just give it away.
How you get so much favor on your side? Accept him as your Lord and Savior, I replied. That should love that neighbor, not divide. I'm a ride, that's on God. His light shine the brightest in the dark. Single mothers know they got my heart. And all my brothers locked up on the yard. You can still be anything you wanna be. Went from 1 and 4 to 1 and 3.
Hold on. Nah, we ain't gonna do it like that. I gotta soak this up. Let's do it again. I gotta soak this up. You know, it's a funny thing. The reason why I told y'all to be this excited, because I ain't supposed to be here. Can you imagine that a former gang member from Brooklyn, Queens, New York, one of the roughest places in Brooklyn, Queens, New York, is here right now on this stage with these amazing speakers. Can you believe that? Now, that's supposed to be damn near impossible, right? But that's the BS that they tell us in our community. That because of your background and your circumstances, that you can't be successful in life. I have an 8th grade level education. I don't know the difference between there, and there, and your and your. If you go on my page right now, if you say you are, but I'll put Y-O-U-R. I don't know the difference. But that didn't stop me from being able to be here today, working hard and dedicating myself and believing in myself and not caring what nobody had to say. The coolest part of the world was this, is that I got invited to the White House. Tattoos on my hand, tattoos on my face, with the flyest suit in the world, and you know it's true because the President of the United States says so. So it's a fact. But this is what I really want to talk about most importantly, man. Us as a people, and when I say people, I'm going to have to say black people, but I believe everybody's my people. But I want to speak to my people in specific. We got to start being accountable. We got to stop acting like we have to have some sort of excuse for why we can't do what we want to do in our life. Because there's no excuses. I remember when I used to tell people, yo, you can do whatever you want in the world. They go, no, well, we can't be president. So then I went and voted for the first black president, just so I could make sure they can't have that excuse anymore. Not because he was black, just so you can't tell me you can't do something. Because look at me, I'm the prime example that you could do whatever you put your mind to. You know, so that's my goal. My goal is to go out there and teach young men like him right here that despite of anything that you do in life, can nobody stop you. And I'm the prime example. I don't care what anybody tells you. That's why I go to different communities and I speak to them. I say, yo, what's going on, man? Why you still on this corner? Yo, man, this is what I'm supposed to do, you know, because, you know, the white man, you know, he trying to stop me from doing what I want to do. Well, I ain't never met that white man. Have y'all ever met him? And if anybody knows where he at, we need to all get together and go jump him. I'm just saying. Are you him? Are you him? Is that you? Huh? Is it you? Let's make sure, because if so, you got a lot of us in here, we ready to jump you. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, I ain't really got too much to say. I know I got to do like 15 minutes of rambling and stuff like that. But I just want to be here to understand that, look, man, I looked at myself one day and I realized that I was the problem. And I was tired of being the problem. So I said, how can I change that? That's when I got up and said, yo, I'm going to start telling people, change your life, man. Let's start voting. Because that's one of the biggest problems we have in our community. We think our votes don't matter. And that's a lie. That's why we keep having these people in office that don't do nothing for us. That's why when I hear black people say, oh, what has the Republican Party done for us? Well, nothing. You don't vote for them. Y'all don't vote for them. So what would you expect them to give you? You know, politicians only care about two things: donors and votes. So if you've been voting for a party for about 30, 40, 50 years and you got nothing from it, I'm sorry, people, you're an idiot. I'm just saying. I mean, I wouldn't be hiring somebody to do a job at my house and never do nothing and continue to give them a check. I know this ain't the PC word, but that's retarded. And I could tell here, a lot of people here, y'all definitely not retarded. So I'm not here to convince you to vote for Republican or anything like that. I just want you to make the right choice. And don't be afraid to make that choice. Don't be afraid to wear your MAGA hats or your proud to be American attire, because that's necessary. If all you here was to wear your MAGA hats and wear your Make America Great Again outfits, Who you think is gonna mess with us? They're trying to say that we're the silent majority. Does it look like we're the silent majority? Huh? I can't hear you. Y'all acting like y'all not here. So we're not the silent majority, so don't be afraid. I gotta say this to my white friends. Don't ever be afraid for somebody to call you racist. If it's racist for you to support a president that makes sure we have the lowest black unemployment, to make sure black babies ain't being killed, to make sure there's money invested in our community, well, tell them you're the best racist ever. I mean, and somebody, please do me a favor. Can somebody tell Donald Trump how to be a racist? Because he's not doing a good job. He let this black brother right here with tattoos on his face in the White House. I used to gangbang. I've done a lot of things that I would say that I'm ashamed of. But then again, I wouldn't be here today if I didn't do those things. You know, I had to understand that I wasn't being punished in life. I was being prepared. So I want you guys to understand too, you know, recently I just invited Jesus into my life. I gave him the wheel. Soak this up. Let me soak this up. And I want to definitely thank my brother David Harris. I was on the phone with him for about like 2 hours, and he's telling me, you know, Papa misses you. He wants you back home. And I'm telling him, I'm like, where did I go? I didn't go anywhere. But he was like, you know, he needs you to be that voice. And he spoke to me for 2 hours, and I was like, and I thought to myself, why not let Jesus into my life? Why not? I mean, I've gotten this far without him, but I got even farther with him. I came here with no money. Because a lot of people believe that the President of the United States is paying me for this. Somebody please show me where my check is at. He must got the wrong address. Because I ain't get $1. But at the end of the day, I gave him, what's that phrase that Christians like to say? You give Jesus the wheel? Boy, he could drive. He could drive. I mean, he got a hoopty, you know, but he could drive. You know, I came here with literally $0. But I ain't focused on that. I got people like Candace Owens who supports me, and her husband George, I love him. That's my guy. You know, he checks on me. And they made sure I was good when I got out here. So I didn't have to worry about anything. I just trusted in Jesus and said, you know, because I'm not a Christian. I want to make that clear because I know, but I follow Jesus. And what did Jesus do? Jesus didn't hang with the rich and the popular and the famous. He hanged with the hoodlums, murderers, killers, thieves, scammers. Those are the people that he wanted to reach. And these are the people that I want to reach. I want to reach the people that they think we don't care about our future, but we do. It's just that we have nobody to represent that. You know, because in my community, we don't want to talk to no broke people. We don't want to talk to no uppity black man that thinks he's better than us and he wants to speak proper. I don't even be understanding 90% of the things they be saying anyway. All these big words, I'm like, what? So it deters us from actually listening to the message. That's why I think it's important for people like me to be able to be out there and speak to them and say, listen, check this out. You could do it too. I ain't gonna lie, let me tell you how hard it is to be on this stage and not curse. I ain't gonna lie, I'm sitting here, I had a word in my mouth like, Candace told me I might get spanked by her grandfather. I don't want no smoke, grandpops. I don't want no smoke. But at the end of the day, man, I'm not going to kill y'all with a long speech. I just want y'all to know this, man. No matter what you do in life, believe in yourself. It don't matter what anybody tells you, because look at me, tattoos everywhere, former gang member, done did the worst things in history you could even imagine. But the most beautiful thing about this country called America, I got an opportunity to right my wrongs. So don't think you can't right your wrongs. Period. Listen, man, it's King Face. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for giving me the time. I love y'all. Thank you. Whoa. Hold on. I gotta get this for the gram. Y'all bugging. I gotta get this for the gram. Hold on now. Hold on. Y'all gotta give me a minute, because I ain't taking my whole 15 minutes, so y'all gotta give me a time. Hold on. Wait a minute. Y'all ready? I always wanted to do this. Thank you again. I love y'all, man. Thank you.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. You can shoot me with your words. You can cut me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness. But just like life, I'll rise. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain, I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, there I go rising.
Ladies and gentlemen, brief intermission, and then we will return to the show.
Care in the world, I'm a brand new cowboy. Yeah, she want the tobacco on my lawn. Some booty in my pickle, watch her back it up and down.
Rubbing booties, grabbing, you know we getting filthy. I got a bent over on the back of my doohickey.
On the back of that 250, we four Willie down the interstate. Texas over everything with neons on my license
I think I wanna hit a bare skin. Nancy but classy, put her hair inside a hairpin.
Spin on it like a cup of snuff. We draw down cause we tough. Spill Coopers on her butt. Now my pistol riding up.
Yeah, I'm riding in the dooley with my boots and my spurs. I've been hunting all winter and I got some new fur. Got a brand new girl without a care in the world. I'm a brand new cowboy. Yeah, she wants the diamonds and the pearls and the silver and the gold. Got my partners in the valley and they diamonds take the soul. Like my money, like my women, under pressure it don't fold. I'm a brand new cowboy.
Never giving up. No, I'm never giving up. Never gonna give it up. No, I'm never gonna stop. Well, I've never been the kind to walk away from a good fight. You know I got it all up in my DNA. You're damn right. You can try to slow me down, but I don't stop. You can throw another punch, but I won't drop. I'm never giving up, No, I'm never giving up, Come and be with what you got, Cause I'm never gonna stop, I'm never giving up, No, I'm never gonna stop, Come and be with what you got, Cause I'm never gonna drop. Well, you know that I'm the kind of girl to win, I'll betcha. All the dreams that I've been chasing in the wind, gonna get ya. Well, I know what is false and I know what is true. I know what I gotta do. I see what is good and I see what is just. Faith on my side and I know who to trust. Baby, you're gonna see what I can do. I got my eyes. I'm never giving up, No, I'm never giving up, Come and be with what you got, Cause I'm never gonna stop, I'm never giving up, No, I'm never gonna stop, Come and be with what you got, Cause I'm never gonna drop. I'm never giving up. No, I'm never giving up. Come and be with what you got. Cause I'm never gonna stop.
Yeah. Look, I'm the loungiest, you dehydrated, drip is the cloudiest. We sleeping on you, but persevere through the drowsiness. Look, I'm peeling like Ambien, use a mannequin, and I'm easy fitting a hole in every blouse you in. Ain't no better with languages, been the shadiest. Competition slim when in Rome, my Marcus Aurelius. I ain't from round here. The greatest living and hitting is what you found here. Shoulder chipping, you're fixing love and addiction. I am not the son of a gun to load up a clipping. Talking sheepin', so I ain't paying attention. More or less, more the feeling that you was missing. Intravenous, the DNA of a genius. Line for line, my precision point of a seamstress. Thread the needle, a sentence is ending lethal. Bounty placed on the head of the who seen it. Grew up uncomfortable watching Huxtables. I figured my life at times would juxtapose. With 40 calibers in my backpack. Next to the green Skittles and Lunchables. Systemic conditions made me a menace. The flipping the bricks, it made me a gymnast. Real recognize real, right? But I look in your eyes and can't see I'm only getting better. I'm only getting better. Came from the bottom and ain't never been a tether. I ain't never been a tether. Oh, you trapping, can't respect you if you ratting for that cheddar. Say you ratting for that cheddar. I ain't never fronted, just know how to stay ahead of niggas. Yeah, I know how to stay ahead of niggas. When they ask me how I'm doing, well, I'm only getting better. Sick and active, you know, moving androgynous. Became well read, blue pill to your consciousness. Part in the politics, hello bipartisans. This is a partnership, I am the art of it. Beat to the heart of it. This is what happens with hoods and get scholarships. Bachelors with doctorates, Persians and Spartan kicks. Homie is big as hell, but heaven is sponsoring. I pray that I'm Christ-like. Lucy annoying and ask what the price like. You can't afford it. I'm on my 10K, I was a pin play. SWAT was on my block, it ain't the Kimbe. More like an icon, living within state. Say that I'm sophomore, what is this, 10th grade? Smoking on Alibaba, figure the goat is here. DJ was starting drama, time is provoking fear. And I'm only getting better, I'm only getting better. Came from the bottom and ain't never been a tether. I ain't never been a tether. Oh, you trapping, can't respect you if you ratting for that cheddar. Say you ratting for that cheddar. I ain't never fronted, just know how to stay ahead of niggas. Yeah, I know how to stay ahead of niggas. When they ask me how I'm doing, well, I'm only getting better. Came from the bottom and ain't never been a tether. Oh, you trapping, can't respect you if you ratting for that cheddar. I ain't never fronted, just know how to stay ahead of niggas. When they ask me how I'm doing, well, I'm only getting better. Said I'm only getting better. Came from the bottom and ain't never been a tether. I ain't never been a tether. Oh, you trapping, can't respect you if you ratting for that cheddar. Say you ratting for that cheddar. I ain't never fronted, just know how to stay ahead of niggas. Yeah, I know how to stay ahead of niggas. When they ask me how I'm doing, well, I'm only getting better.
It's your boy Deuce McDamian, the macadamia nut. Hot power with it. You know we gotta stay boiling hot. We do it so unorthodox, like that seals over pack the spot. We so hot power with it. Stay hotter than a burning flame. We the type of people that a party brings. Triple how we do it so against the grain. Fort Worth TX, A1G. Insane 7, I just might be. Clear the smoke, it's hard to see. All I gotta say is don't with me. Take no prisoners, he or she. 1, 2, 3, and your soul delete. Enough said, no need repeat. DOAJDOE. Your heart swell and suddenly bust. Hate and looking so hard to trust. They don't give a damn, so I don't give a fuck. Turn them into ashes and snort your dust. Better watch it, cause I might go psycho. About to get wrecked, better go get Geico. Stand tall like the Eiffel Tower. Get large lump sums by the hour. High power with it. You know we gotta stay boiling hot. We do it so unorthodox. Like that seals over pack the spot. We so high power with it. Stay hotter than a burning flame. We the type of people that a party brings. Triple how we do it so against the grain. My heart don't seem to beat from time to time. Walking the streets with this loaded 9 of mine. The city I'm from, it won't rest. Dying 7 minutes or less. Can't wait to penetrate your vest. The land of the wicked and totally lost. My murder weapon can be tossed. I'm ready to set it off. Like I say, it's judgment day, you dig? The AK got a mind of its own, my nigga. Move the crowd from front to back. Man, this bum hurt, don't know how to act. The gristle in your vertebrae crack and snap loose. Bleed from the scene, throwing up the 6'2". If needed, I got proof. In a 60-something coupe with no roof. Letting loose, tell the pick up for them true. Enemies die so quick, you ain't heard, you wouldn't. They shoot up with the mentally disturbed. Power with it. You know we gotta stay boiling hot. We do it so unorthodox. Like that seals over pack the spot. We so hot. what you sowing, it's like that. Same one-way road, but the right track. See, life is a bad bitch with a fight back. One of a kind, show no weakness. Quitters don't win, winners don't give in. Settle for last, wave the flag. Either fly high or you burn and crash. Time keeps on and it will not stop. Quitting ain't an option, we all we got. Walk the bike, you must go get it. Haters got a knife trying to cut you with it. Smile in your face, but you cannot trust. The snakes and the fakes, they don't give no. This is real life as we keep on turning. Didn't start the fire, but it keep on burning. Our power, you know we gotta stay boiling hot. We do it so unorthodox. Like that, see us overpack the spot. We so high power. Stay hotter than a burning flame. We the type of people that'll party brains. Triple how we do it so against the grain. Yes, sir. Like I say, this your boy Deuce McDaniel, the macadamia nut, etc. Yeah.
And we taking our time. Yeah, it's all about the vibe. Okay.
We're taking it slow. We're just taking our time. We're just living our lives. We got nowhere to go. So let's stay here the whole night. 'Cause all we feel is good vibes. Yeah, all we feel is good vibes.
We vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate. We just pass it to the side, grab a drink, pull it up, say what's good, feeling right. All your friends, they invited, bring a bottle through the night. Tell them, we gon' get it lit, we gon' get it lit. Get a little throw, get a little bent, have a good time. Ay, and you don't need a vent. On tilt, we gon' really get it in, right? Right. Ain't no time to be lazy, oh no. I got a dozen girls coming, they crazy for show. And not a single girl rating them 8 or below. I swear to God, they gon' love it the way that I flow. Hey, yeah, and we gon' take it slow. Spending time while you turn up at a vacant show. You can take your time, shawty, you don't need to go. We at a house party chillin' if you need to know.
We're taking it slow. We're just taking our time. We're just living our lives. We got nowhere to go. So let's stay here the whole night. 'Cause all we feel is good vibes. Yeah, all we feel is good vibes.
I've been vibing with you from the jump. See the crib, I ain't even got a stunt. Making hits, I don't ever try to blunt. When I pull up, everybody wanna front now. They acting brand new every time I touch down. And to my haters, all I gotta say is what now? They say hello to the new whip, flirt with your new chick. All on TMZ, so the rights all exclusive. I'm playing with you, I know you playing too. We laying back in the cut, got the eagle view. I do this all the time, really ain't nothing new. I ain't frontin' on you, shorty, what I say is true. And now we chillin', we ain't worried about the biz though. Ay, stress-free, living like kids though. And if the vibe stay right like it is, when it's all said and done, we gon' end up more than friends.
We're taking it slow. We're just taking our time. We're just living our lives. We got nowhere to go. So let's stay here the whole night. 'Cause all we feel is good vibes. Yeah, all we feel is good vibes.
When things get difficult, you gotta reach inside yourself. You're not alone.
Now maybe what you feeling is hard, or maybe what you feeling is dark, or maybe what you feeling is a feeling you ain't never felt and you don't even know where to start. But if you go in thinking that you can't do it, then guess what? You can't do it. I'm an example right here and I'll prove it. You will never get ahead without movement. Truth is, everything you do won't be the best. Failure can push you into success. Don't sit around in a mood and feel unrest. Do what you do, here are the steps. First, you gotta see it. Next, you gotta believe it. Then you go achieve it, repeat it, and then complete it. Class is in session for the teaching. Pay attention, this is what you see. Now when it feels like one thing after the other is going wrong, then you have to recover. You gotta dig deep. You gotta dig deep. Push through the impossible. And when you're feeling down on your luck and feel stuck, make sure that you don't give up. Get up, dig deep. You gotta dig deep. Push through the impossible. Have you ever wanted to quit?
Have you ever felt you wasn't legit? Have you ever felt not on pace, maybe out of place? Or maybe like you wasn't a fit? Feeling like that is in the norm. When you feel like you trapped up in a storm. But there's no looking back, keep it going. Now you got a new life, you were born. Battles get in the way, so channel your inner strength. Grind it to the end, you're stronger than what you think. Do not panic if you happen to sink. Instead remember this, cause you are the missing link. First you gotta see it, next you gotta believe it. Then you go achieve it, repeat it, and then complete it. Class is in session for the teaching. Pay attention, this is what you see. Now when it feels like one thing after the other is going wrong, then you have to recover. You gotta dig deep. You gotta dig deep. Push through the impossible. And when you're feeling down on your luck and feel stuck, make sure that you don't give up. Get tough, dig deep. You gotta dig deep. Push through the impossible.
There's only two types of people in life. Champions and those who spend their entire lives trying to get a shot at the championship. You got winners and those who wish they could win. Which one are you? Cause we know who we are. Yeah, we came to play. Gotta get tough. Ain't no surrender when you go against us. No, we came to play and never give up. Want the title, come and try your luck, cause we came to play. Better bring your A game, cause we bringing the same thing. Yeah, we came to play, we came to play. Yeah, get out the way, cause we came to play. They ain't gon' know what hit them. Came into the building, we crushing the competition. Last I checked, we was on top and never going under. We reign supreme from the winter back to summer, yeah. Cause winners never take a vacation. Going all the way, no hesitation. Bring the fans out, this the moment they've been waiting for. Beat you down and broadcast it to the nations. Yeah, so go and put your hands up. I'ma score then, make the crowd stand up. Yeah, you only get one chance, so when the game is on, then it's time to man up. We came to play, gotta get tough. Ain't no surrender when you go against us. No, we came to play and never give up. We want the title, come and try your luck, cause we came to play. Better bring your A game, cause we bringing the same thing. Yeah, we came to play, we came to play. Get out the way, cause we came to play.
Okay, so you meant like house light like right now. You meant like you just wanted more light right now.
Yeah, just because I'm kind of
Gotcha.
wide shots.
Okay. How is the wash on stage? I mean,
Good.
you didn't say anything.
At one point there was like it's really hot when you're in front of the
Right, so I fixed that, but then I didn't hear any other feedback. So okay, awesome.
Lay in the cut like a puma on the prowl. The right time to get him is now cloud. That's the end of that. Beginning of a never-ending saga. And how he gets it in like Kamara. Cheers says a lager. Yours is old tools. Jesus from the untold rules of the old school. It's like a rule of what it do to one.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show will begin in 1 minute. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the President of STAM, Bishop E.W. Jackson.
Well, thanks, everybody. Wow. Well, I tell you, you all make me want to say, praise the Lord. Listen, God bless each and every one of you. I'm so glad to see you all out here today. You know, tomorrow's Veterans Day. I want to thank every veteran in the room tonight. This afternoon. Thank you for your service to this great country. Thank you. Thank you. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, you know, I served in the United States Marine Corps. Hoorah! Semper Fi! And you know, one of the things that I love about military service is that there is a unifying mission about it, isn't there? I mean, when you know that you could potentially face combat with your fellow Marine, your fellow soldier, your fellow Navy person, you don't care about the color of their skin. You don't care what part of the country they came from. The only thing you know is that you've got each other's backs. And you know what? Our country could learn a lot from the military right now. It's about time we came together and started having each other's backs instead of trying to tear each other apart. Now, look, I just came here from Virginia, and we're in some very serious wars in Virginia. You may know about our governor there. I ran against our governor for lieutenant governor, and when we had a debate on television, I reached out to shake his hand. He refused to shake my hand. I tapped him on the side to get his attention. He refused to even acknowledge I was there. Later on, they found him with a picture of a Ku Klux Klan outfit and blackface. And then shortly thereafter, we heard him say that he supports abortion. And if a child is intended to be aborted and that child is born alive, well, we can then decide whether we want to let that child die or not. That's Governor Ralph Northam of Virginia. He's supposed to be a pediatrician. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't trust him with a born child, let alone an unborn child. He has just gotten the legislature to go along with him. Unfortunately, on Tuesday, we elected a legislature that will back him. But I'm here from Virginia to tell you all that the state of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and Patrick Henry and James Madison and James Monroe and George Mason is not going to lie down and roll over and turn our Commonwealth over to a bunch of Marxists and socialists. We're going to bring Virginia back from the brink. Now, my family comes from Virginia. My great-grandparents were slaves and sharecroppers in Orange County, Virginia. My grandfather was raised there. He later left, and I was born in Pennsylvania. I was born into a broken home. I was raised until the age of 10 in foster care, and my father came back into my life at the age of 10 years old. I was raised up in poverty. I ate mayonnaise sandwiches sometimes and biscuits and syrup for dinner. But my father came back into my life and he turned my life around. I was a juvenile delinquent. I was running the streets. I was not paying attention. I didn't want anybody to have any authority over me because I resented the fact that my parents weren't there. And I'm telling you, everybody's got a solution to our social problems. We need to control guns. We need to have more programs. But you know what we need in America? We need to get men back in the home. We need to get families raising their children and teaching them right from wrong and respect for authority. That's what happened for me. My beloved father made all the difference in the world in my life. And you know what else he told me? And my father was born in 1915. He was raised in a very different racial climate than anything I've ever experienced. But my beloved father told me when I was a young boy, and he took me to live with him, he said, son, this is the United States of America. He said, it's not a perfect place. He said, but you can be anything you want to be in this country if you make up your mind that you want to do it. My father had a 6th grade education, was a 3rd-class welder in Sun Shipbuilding and Dry Dock Company, but he raised up a son who he took out of foster care. I graduated summa cum laude from the University of Massachusetts and from Harvard Law School. Because in America, you can start from nowhere and become something and make something out of yourself. I am tired of having liberals tell me what I can't be. Tell me where I can't go. Tell me what I can't do. I'm tired of being treated like I'm some kind of handicapped 2nd-class citizen. I want to tell every black citizen, every Hispanic citizen, don't you let liberals tell you what you cannot do. You can do anything you make up your mind to do. This is the best place in the world to live. You've been blessed to be born in the United States of America. And no, we're not a perfect country. I know that. But you know, I made up my mind at this time, in this state, in this day and age, anybody who's so dumb that they would judge a person by the color of their skin, you don't need to worry about them anyway. My brothers and sisters, we live, look, this is not heaven. I know that. I preach about heaven. This is not heaven, but you compare it to any place else in the world. That's why we don't have people standing at our border saying, please don't leave, please don't leave. In fact, I tell you, some of these folk, I'd like to say, please leave. Because even those who complain know this is the greatest nation on earth. We live under the most successful governing document in the history of mankind. Constitutions are changed around the world about every 17 years. Here we are 230 years under the Constitution of the United States, and we're going to keep this constitutional republic that was given to us by our founding fathers. I raised my hand in the Marine Corps office in August of 1970 and took an oath to the Constitution of the United States that I would preserve, protect, and defend it against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and bear true faith and allegiance to the same. Every veteran in here took that same oath. I have more commitment to it now because I believe it's in more danger now than it's ever been. And my brothers and sisters, Benjamin Franklin walked out of the Constitutional Convention on September 17th, 1787. A woman named Mrs. Powell met him, and she asked him, well, doctor, what have you given us, a monarchy or a republic? He said, a republic if you can keep it. And I'm telling you all, by the grace of Almighty God, with everything that's in me, we're going to keep it. Nobody's taking it away from us. But my brothers and sisters, we've got to have unity. We've got to get past this racial division, this division over racism and sexism. We've got to be one nation under God, and then we'll be indivisible with liberty and justice for all. That's why I don't mind confessing to you, I know my history. I know my background. I know the African heritage that I have. But I'm telling you all this. I do not call myself an African American. I am an American. Our ancestors may have come on different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. And we better start acting like it. And so I just want to encourage you, don't give up. Don't back down. Stand up for what you believe in. Those of us who are of African descent know that we've got a challenge to help people understand who come from our backgrounds or similar backgrounds, to help them understand you've been lied to, you've been manipulated, you've been used. They're keeping your children in non-accredited schools that are miseducating them. They're keeping you locked in ghettos. They're destroying families. They're aborting your babies. It's time for us to tell them we need to be free. Let my people go. So, my brothers and sisters, I am convinced that America's best days are ahead. I mean that. When I look out and see you all, I know that's got to be true. My daughter's here, my beloved youngest daughter's here, and she was raised up to do something with her life. She doesn't walk around thinking people won't let her do this and they won't let her do that. She just got her executive MBA from one of the schools here, because that's America. That's what I taught my children that. But what we're doing for you younger people. See, look, the sun is going down in a sense on my life. I'm in my third quarter, but I see some of you who are in your first quarter. And we want to make sure that the country that we leave you is one where you can be who you are, be proud of who you are, stand up for who you are, and not be told, oh, you believe that? Oh, get out of our way. Oh, you believe in marriage? You believe your mother and father were, yes, I believe in marriage as God. Whoa, wait a minute. You're a bigot. You're a hater. Oh, you believe in the free market system? No. We need socialism. Oh, you believe people ought to come together and care about one another regardless of race or color or creed or any such thing as Americans? Oh, no. You don't understand. The white man is against us all. We don't want our children raised up in a country like that, where they're taught to hate one another, be against one another. We want them to be raised in a country where they know, as a fellow citizen, we care about one another. We don't need the government to order us to care about our neighbor. We ought to care about our neighbor because it's the right thing to do. I want these young people to be able to feel the same thing we feel. Yes, I'm a patriot. You can sense that. To feel the same thing I feel when they hear that national anthem and look at that flag and get emotional about it. Because I know the blood that's been shed. I know the tears that have been shed. I know the sacrifices that have been made. I know the lives that have been given in order to secure this unique liberty that we have in this country. And I want them to feel what we feel when we look at those symbols. The flag is not a racist symbol. It represents my country and your country. And if we can't rally around the symbols that represent us all, what kind of future do we have? And please don't let me get started. Because when a spoiled multi-millionaire who couldn't make that kind of money in any other country on earth has got the nerve to tell me that because he's got an issue, he won't stand for the flag, or they won't stand for the flag, or they won't stand for the national anthem. I'll tell you what, as far as I'm concerned, find yourself a country you like better and go there and don't come back. Don't disrespect my flag. Don't disrespect my country. There's some things about my country that I want to change, yes, but I love America. Because I know what America means to all of us. We have created the most successful, most prosperous country, raised the standard of living for more people than any other nation that's ever existed on the face of the earth. I know we endured 8 years of apologies for America. But I'll tell you what, I don't care how you feel about him. Thank God now we got a president who doesn't apologize for our country, but is proud of America, loves our country. And let me tell you something, folks. There's nothing racist about putting America first. This is my home. Of course I put my own country first. So don't be afraid to stand up. Be encouraged. Because I really believe that truth forever on the scaffold, wrong forever on the throne. But the scaffold sways the future. And behind the dim unknown stands God within the shadows, keeping watch over his own. Truth is going to win out over falsehood. So keep standing, because I really believe that this nation will have a new birth of freedom. I saw a young man in the back wearing a Second Amendment shirt. Let me tell you something. Our founding fathers weren't perfect people, but when they set this nation up on the basis that rights aren't given to us by the beneficence of government or by some king or potentate, but they are inherent in who we are as human beings, given to us by our Creator, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They secured our rights in something that cannot be changed. And yes, I have a right to freedom of speech. I have a right to my own conscience. What is wrong with these liberals? What is wrong with them? Because you know what? I mean this with all my heart. I may not agree with them, but I will defend their right to say what they think. I mean that. Why is it that they want to shut Candace down? Why is they want to shut us down? They don't want us to be heard. Well, I've got news for them. There's no power on earth that can shut us up or shut us down. We're going to keep crying aloud. We're going to keep saying it until nobody disagrees with us. We're going to keep persuading people that America is the land of the free and the home of the brave. That's right, USA, 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 USA. Now, I might be running out of time, so let me finish up. This nation is going to have a new birth of freedom because of you. Because of you. And let me tell you something. To all of my brothers and sisters who happen to be of darker hue, when we start uniting, not on the basis of what somebody looks like, but on the basis of what they think like. When we start uniting on the basis of ideas and principles and ideals, We will break the back of the leftists who want to turn this country into a Marxist socialist nation, because they're trying to guarantee their power by manipulating black folks and Hispanic folks and women and convincing us that we're victims of racism and sexism. But I want you to say aloud and not back up. I am nobody's victim of racism. I refuse to be a victim of anybody for any reason. I'm a proud American who happens to be black. If you want me to bend over and let you ride me as your victim, it's not going to happen. So stand up and be counted and don't back down. And I guarantee you in time to come, people are going to join in with you. And those young people are going to sing with new meaning, my country 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. Keep saying it until they all come into agreement with us and say, yes, I believe in America. I believe in what my country stands for. And no, we're not a perfect country, but I guarantee you this, we're the best place on earth to live. And look, don't you dare back up from that at all. Now, Candace has experienced it. I've experienced it. Threats, nasty names. You know, I mean, believe it or not, folks, I've been called a white supremacist. That's a new one. Sell out, simply because I say, if you don't want to be judged by the color of your skin, why would you judge someone else that way? That's being a white supremacist. You don't want anybody judging you on the basis of, you're black. Black folks are like this. But it's okay to say, well, white folks are like that. That's a lie. That's disgusting. It's degrading. We ought to reject that, because that's not what the civil rights movement was all about. Dr. King said we want to be judged not by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character. But I hope that you will join in with me in keeping this commitment. I'm probably older than most of you in this room, but it's a commitment I made a long time ago, and I hope you'll join in it with me. I say I don't care what anybody says about America. I don't care what they say about my faith. I don't care what they say about my commitment. And let me make something clear. I love everybody. There's not a person on the earth that I hate. I don't care how much they disagree with me or what they say about me. I love them. I pray for them. I tell people I didn't agree with President Obama, but I prayed for him to tears. I prayed for him to tears, literally, because I loved him, and I still love him and pray for him, but I just don't agree with him. But I love people. We're not against people. We want the very best for people. We want everybody in America to experience the very best there is. But they'll call us bigots and haters because if you don't agree, well, you're a bad person. But you know what? I don't care what they say about me. I don't care what they say about our country. I don't care what they say about our flag. I don't care what they say about our national anthem, our Constitution, our founding fathers, or our way of life. I am going to stand up for that flag and stand up for that Constitution and stand up for our way of life until I breathe my dying breath. But I will never give up. I will never give in. I will never back down. I will never be silenced. I'm going to do it until the Lord calls me home. And I hope you have the same attitude, because if we have that attitude, we're going to win. We're going to win. God bless you. God bless Atlanta. God bless the United States of America.
Fuck selling the pipers to get the baby the diapers. Call a bitch Swiffer cause all she know is swipers. Fuck a rap.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the founder of organization Black Guns Matter, Moss Toure.
What's up? What's up? We're gonna make it nice and awkward. We're gonna make it nice and awkward. What's up? Ain't none of y'all streaming this to the gram? All right, good. How many Democrats we got in here? No? Told you I was going to make it awkward. Ain't none in here? Well, is one? Identify yourself. Okay, now look. This is where it's going to get awkward. Is that a man or... I'm not being funny because I can't see that far. Is that a sister? That's a woman? Okay. That's our sister too. Okay? So, I got 15 minutes. In this 15 minutes, the best way for me to help is to engage in dealing with three basic concepts: empathy, facts, and solutions. All right? Now, we all agree that we're in the middle of a war. Okay? Whether that's spiritual, whether that's political, whether that's whatever, a war of hearts and minds. Right? Now, just like our sister over there, she's outnumbered in this room by a small margin, right? But with that being the case, on the outside of this room, even though we're the silent majority, mass media, some of them are here now, are going to paint a picture that we're the minority. With that being the case, you have to have all of you that have been pushing for the things that you're about free thought, about solutions, about all those different things. You're struggling with certain things, especially my white people that's down with BLEXIT. You're struggling with it because you want to say the things that the black people are saying, but you're going to get painted as racist by some of them same cameras. Right? No different than the melanated beings in here. Notice I said melanated beings. Okay? The melanated beings in here that are communicating about the things that are about liberty, free thought, and things of that nature, you're going to get painted. Somebody say a name that they're going to call you. Bam, off top. Bed wench. Tap dancing. They don't say that to me because I'm strapped most of the time, so they know better than that. Okay? So, the best way for me to help, one of the ways is you can be armed. That's just my thing. With that being the case, the best way for me to help y'all, because every single person in here has struggled with this, and you have to reach. The reason why the people, our brothers and sisters, right, are still in that same thought process is because that same media has made it very adversarial. So, I cannot help you. I'm around the country doing this work. I'm in liberal cities talking about arming black people. People get their heads blown off for doing what I do. Okay? So, I've had some success because I haven't got my head blown off yet. All right? And somebody coming with me when they try. Okay? Now, with that being the case, just made it awkward. Everybody got scared. With that being the case, the best way for me to help y'all is for you to ask questions. I got a couple of minutes, and I'll answer them based on my experience. Anybody can jump in. You can ask a question, but I need two at a time, and we got to move quick. I cannot serve you if I don't know how to help you. So, when I say this, nobody ever wants to go first. So whoever wants to go first. No, wait. Where's the sister that's a Democrat? What are your questions? What are you feeling right now? I want to ask you that question first. Go ahead. Speak up. Stand up. Unless you want to tag somebody in to ask to respond for you. Now, wait, real quick. This is a, no pun intended, this is a safe space. We are all agreeing that we are going to respect our sister, correct? The tolerant right. Okay? Go ahead, my sister. Mm-hmm. So y'all heard what she said? I'm going to say it again. She said that basically what she's recognizing is, regardless of the rhetoric, that's a media term, by the way, right? Regardless of the rhetoric, on the BLEXIT side, on the left, whatever, we all pretty much want to defend basic freedoms. Commonality. Will television tell you that? No. Why not? There is energy, resources, money, and power in division and chaos. Okay? This is not the Tower of Babel. This is actually communication. They want you babbling, not talking over each other, not to each other. That's why I start these type of speeches, finding out who is the quote unquote other. Our sister there. She's not really the other. She's not a they. The people that we're trying to engage are not a they either. The bishop just burnt it down by breaking down we are all Americans. Okay? Melanated, non-melanated, don't care. So that's the first thing. Now, who got the question? Go ahead, brother, right here. Just speak up, man. Come on. What's up, Chandler? Yeah. 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 Excellent question. So basically, excellent question, Chandler. So basically, how do you get, because the schools are cesspools of leftist propaganda. Be very clear about that. Okay? How do we get, especially in the younger group, how do we get an understanding of having young people engaged in the Second Amendment? You know, I don't use the word gun. Very few people even see me with a firearm. I allegedly have a whole bunch of them. Okay? When we started Black Guns Matter, our whole goal and approach was the conversation is about conflict resolution, safety, de-escalation, and the Second Amendment. Defending the right. When my gay friends that are very liberal, I say, man, if you knew somebody in a Pulse nightclub, would you want that person to have an option to defend their life? It's not adversarial. It's a simple question. The major part of that is, again, that first one, empathy. On three, say it. I want you to say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Empathy. The people that you're talking to don't agree with you right now because they have not read the same books. Write it down. It's really good. Okay? So, Chandler, in that space, the first thing that you got to do, recognize that empathy. Then explain that this is about a right. If you do not want to have the right to defend yourself, you don't have to. And I'll champion your right to stay on the left. Right? With that being the case, you do that from a place of empathy. Then the second one is data or facts. The fact of the matter is, over 90% of the mass shootings that we see, even though they make up less than 1% of shootings in the nation, because those cameras say it's, oh, you go outside, you're going to get shot. Even though they make up less than 1%, 90% of them are in gun-free zones. Empathy, facts. Next question. I'm going to make it nice and boring, too. I have to. I couldn't match the bishop's energy. Go ahead, brother, right here. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 Okay. Excellent question. So I do a bunch of different things in that regard. So his question is, okay, what does every rap song say a magazine is? Clip. That's wrong. It's wrong. Okay? Now, you know the intent of the person that's saying it. People used to say, yo, what's up, my nigga, to me all the time. And I used to go, yo, I'm not a nigga, after you know what I mean? However, the intent, because when I started creating that adversarial, I know what he means, but I don't want to be offended by the word or triggered. So I say, I'm not a nigga. As opposed to going, this brother does not understand because we haven't read the same books. It's the same thing with the nomenclature around firearms. Understand if they say in clip, hey, bro, you mean magazine, right? In a lighthearted way. The left media has a PhD in PR. They are better at it than us. So you have to adapt. I know what he means, and I have to educate. You have to do that every single time. You are charged now with this fight club. You're in my fight club. Your homework assignment is every time someone says, what's up, my nigga? What's up, my cracker? What's up, my spick? I'm using all of the derogatory terms so I don't leave anybody out. Okay? Understand what is their intent, and if there's a way to bridge that gap there, you explain where their nomenclature is not incorrect, but I know what you mean, but here's an add-on. That's empathy, then you hit them with the facts. That creates the third thing, which is the solution. Does that make sense? And the other thing is you got to know your nomenclature. If you think 1911s are better than Glocks, then you probably already out of the game. The gun people gonna laugh. You right there. Oh, the sister got in front of you, brother. I got you next. Go ahead, sister. She's running for Congress. Thank you for your service. Real women carry. Yeah. Yes, you can. You shoot him in the face. I agree. Her question in essence is, how do we get women to understand? Now, let me be very clear. The people that are getting a little squeamish, I am not advocating for any unnecessary violence. Be very clear about that. I deal with conflict resolution and de-escalation. However, if a woman is attempted to be raped by a scumbag, shoot him in the face. That goes back to this brother's question here, and I got you, brother. I ain't forget about you, then I got you. That goes back to that statement. Again, empathy. Man, I understand that you have the right. It's your body, your choice. Do you want to, if that's your languaging, do you want to protect your body? Do you think a man, a violent man, has the right to just rape you or your daughter? Would you want your daughter or your sister or your mother or your grandmother to have the means to defend herself? Non-adversarial empathy. What's the second one? Facts. Third one, solution. Brother right there. What's up, Jonathan? Word. Outstanding, brother. Owners? Yeah. So I'll tell you what I did. Black Guns Matter started, we was going to do one event. It was going into 2015, going into 2016 elections. And you know how I go, especially the presidential elections. Register to vote, register to vote, register to vote, register to vote. I live in Philly. I just got my butt kicked running for city council. I learned a lot, but I still took that L, though. Okay? So they, next time. So what they say is, Philly's 80% Democrat, okay? What they'll do is they'll say, voters register to vote, register to vote, register to vote. I got you. Now, during that time, we was like, yo, we don't need a registration to vote drive. We need a license to carry drive. So what I did was I started getting all of the paperwork. I printed them out, and I just started handing them out to people and showing them how to actually fill out to get the license to carry, right? Now, when you take those people and you get them their license to carry, you show them the paperwork, all that, now they have an interest. Once they have that interest, and then you show them, and again, I have plenty of friends and family that are us on the left, like our sister there, right? We have so much in common, but when you start showing them, you're enjoying this thing, shooting, sports, for recreation, whatever, as well as to defend against tyranny, on top of, again, the rapist can get shot in the face. When you start showing that there are democratic policies, racist policies of gun control, specifically designed to de-arm black people primarily. When you show them that, after they've got an interest for this thing, they'll start voting a different way. Then you create a voting block off of that, okay? But the first step, get the paperwork, know it like the back of your hand, front and back, hand it to people. The people that don't want one and say, no, I don't want one, cool, I respect your right to not have a firearm. Empathy, facts, solution. What was the brother over here somewhere? Brother back there, go ahead. That was all Candace, bro. They don't? No, I'm messing with you. So, I came in the back, bro. So, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm respecting the rules. So here's the thing. I'm personally a libertarian, okay? Now, again, that's not knocking it. Again, it's different, free thought. With that being the case, when I go into my anti-gun friends' homes that are afraid of firearms, I don't take a firearm. I make a joke. I say, yo, bro, if I get killed in your house, I'm going to kill you. Right? I believe in a free market. I believe that this space, right, is allowed to create the rules that they want. I can choose to not come, or I can choose to come. I thought being here with you tonight, you all, was important enough to come unarmed. That's it. Respect freedom. Respect liberty. Who else? I'm going to do a couple more. I don't know how much time I got right here.
Thanks for what you do.
Thank you.
We understand what the civil rights was all about.
Yeah.
How would you answer how the civil rights has been hijacked and how it's being used today to promote a leftist ideology?
Oh, absolutely. So for one, they do things like, the question was, he had a mic, so y'all heard that one. Again, PR. Some people think PR means like public relations. I have a different definition of it. I got you. It's perception and reality. Write that down. I'm giving y'all jewels for the low. With that being the case, perception and reality, they do a very good job of hijacking a thing. Do y'all know what classical liberals were about? They was the shooters. They was like, no, forget the crown. We doing this American thing. That's it. They're very good at changing definitions. So what you have to do is give the fact of the matter. Do you know? You got to go back, right? So the civil rights movement in that regard, we have to co-opt it. There's a way to say black people, no different than my Jewish homies, right? There's a way to say that we have had a unique scenario in America. That does not knock anybody else. It's just the facts, okay? What happens is the people that want to dilute that, they have to add everything else into it. You're almost to say, I have black, white, Spanish, Asian, whatever type of friends, and say, yo, unfortunately, black people kind of like endured the MAFA, the transatlantic slave trade. That is not a knock to my Jewish friends. This ain't like the pain Olympics. You know what I'm saying? The Holocaust was better than the African Holocaust. It's not what it is. It's recognizing what those horrible things were so we don't repeat them. And recognizing how they hijack things and do that way, how you beat it is the same three-step approach. You go, I understand that you have had, my Irish friends say it all the time. Oh, the Irish were immigrants. Right, bro, but you came here willingly. It's a fact of the matter. Now, some people were here. They came before Columbus. Look it up. Ivan Van Sertima, just a quick drop. With this being the case, you have to make sure that you're fundamentally sound in your knowledge and approach to it while making sure that you're empathetic for other people's struggles. We have to recondition the world and to stop thinking that people on the right, black, white, whatever, do not have empathy or care for the other side, especially as a gun owner. They tell me I'm just down with death. It's wrong, okay? Sister right here. How much time I got left? I have no idea. 15 minutes? There's no way I got that much time left. Go ahead.
My name is Annette Davis Jackson, and I'm an NRA member, but what I'm concerned about is children getting guns. I mean, they see their parents, they have their guns, they take them to school, they get kicked out of school, and then it leads to the school-to-prison pipeline.
Yep.
We must do something about that. There's so many teens now that are in jail.
I have a solution.
Yeah, I want to hear the solution and take it all around the country. Because, and then the gray market of how they get these guns.
So wait, so here, some of that is just falsehoods. Yeah. Again, and listen, camera people, I'm not picking on y'all because I'm pointing just to you the people with the cameras, okay? Media paints it as if, one, there's so much death. One is enough for me. Now, let me be very clear. I don't believe in accidents when it comes to firearms. It's called negligence, okay? When you get a firearm, which is your human right, as stated in the Second Amendment, that Bill of Rights, right, it's a trifecta. Declaration of Independence, Constitution, Bill of Rights. It's the trifecta. They go together. It's a pyramid, okay? That Bill of Rights is a list of things enumerated that the government does not give you. The government does not grant you the right to defend yourself. The government does not grant you the right to express yourself. First one, I get the freedom of speech. I get to say what I said. Second one is, if y'all tripping, I get to defend what I just said with a gun. Okay? Now, Those are human rights. Civil rights, kinda, but more human rights, okay? Civil rights are given by government. That's why every couple of years, every couple of decades, black people in America, they got to re-up on your voting rights. Fact, with empathy. Don't be mad at me, okay? Now, with this being the case, since this is a human right, with those rights come responsibilities. My position is, if you are a firearm owner and you are negligent with properly storing your firearm, I want you to go all the way to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Okay? Because every time that negligence happens, media makes it look like all gun owners in the room are just the most horrible people. You know why most young people, and this is going to be very gruesome, you know how most babies shoot themselves with firearms and where they shoot themselves? In the face. Do you know why? Because their little hands, their fingers aren't long enough to do it this way. So they turn the gun around so their thumbs can grab it. And they shoot themselves in the face. If you allow your child, my child, anybody's child, because of your negligence, I want you to have your due process, then I want you to go under the jail. Okay? And doing things like that and making sure that we're educating people about the responsibility. It's Spider-Man. With great rights, powers comes great responsibility. It's the same thing. So by educating people, if anybody want any information on that, Black Guns Matter is the name of the organization. Right here, and I know I probably got like right, wrap up. It's time to go. Go ahead, take this last one and I'm out. You gotta make it quick. Outstanding. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You know who John Henry Clark is? Anybody here know who John Henry Clark is? That's your homework assignment. I'm going to tell you the quote, but I'm going to answer your question. I already know what you're going to... Go ahead, though. Finish. No, bro. They lying, bro. They lying, bro. I'm listening. Go ahead. All right, so wait. Because I got to wrap up. How do you tell liberals, some are ignorant, some are deliberately no. You say, I respect your right to not have a firearm. Your choices do not determine mine. Simple. I'm out. My name is Maj Toure. I took too much of your time. Peace.
Black ocean leaping and wild, stink like rotten meat. I bear in the path.
We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop and I've seen the promised land. But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
And now, without further ado, please give a warm welcome to former Arizona police officer and radio host, Brandon Tatum.
I just want to make sure this thing on. Y'all hear me? What's going on, BLEXIT ATL? What's going on, BLEXIT ATL? Hey, man, I need everybody to stand on your feet. Y'all get up. When I'm in the crowd, when I'm on stage, you got to stand on your feet. You got to get active. Everybody in the back, too, I see you. All right, I want y'all to repeat after me because I think that when we do this call and response, it just pulls this power out of everybody in the room, right? I want you to repeat after me. I'm free. God made me free. Oh, y'all ain't even enthusiastic. I'm free. God made me free. I'm free. God made me free. All right, y'all sit down. Y'all sit down. I want to give a special thanks to all the law enforcement people in the room. Anybody law enforcement? Let's give another round of applause for the military in the room. Now I want y'all to give yourselves a round of applause for being brave enough in such a liberal city to come out and represent the way y'all represent. And I'm very proud. And I'm not saying that just for the heck of it. It's because I know it's difficult. You know, when I first came out and said I'm a conservative, I woke up. I stepped out of the mindset of being a victim. People came after me. And it took some courage. But when I watch somebody like Martin Luther King, it ain't very hard to draw courage from that. When I see everybody in this room, it's not very hard to pull courage from people coming together, believing in something. And I mean really believing in it. Believing it and letting it be a part of your life. So let me tell you a little bit about me. How many people know who I am? I guess I'm doing something right. So I'll tell you, kind of how I got to this point. Because those of you who don't know me, you're probably wondering, how's this dude up on stage? And, just like King Face said, with tattoos, a former police officer. How did I get to this point? Well, I grew up, both of my parents were separated. I can't remember a time, probably one time in my life, that they actually got along. My grandmother had my mother when she was 12 years old. My daddy didn't really know his father. My mama didn't know her father. I met that man, later in life. He lived across the street from my high school and didn't even have the courage to come and say nothing to us. And so that's kind of the background that I came from that led me on a path to feel like it was cool to be like my bigger cousins, who were they just had a path to going to jail and doing things that wasn't right. And at 8 years old, I got arrested for smoking marijuana in a vacant house. And 8 years old is when I stopped smoking weed. And for those of you who know anything about smoking weed, we wasn't smoking little joints. We were smoking blunts at 8 years old. And so that put me on a path. But let me tell you this, the power of having my father made all the difference. Let me say that again, because I don't know if y'all heard. The power of having my father made the difference. The power of a strong black man made the difference. Because I didn't just go down there and they checked me in and ring me up and walk me out. They called Mr. Tatum. And Mr. Tatum ain't playing. And I remember my dad coming into that facility and he said, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. And I remember me and my brother was like, no, y'all can leave us in here. We good right here. Because this whooping is about to be out of control. But my dad did something that was special because he didn't whoop us, and I was ready for it. I don't believe I was ready for it. I thought I was ready for it. I was preparing myself for it. But while we were in the car, we were driving home, and I remember him saying this to me. He said, Brandon, if you don't change your ways, if you don't act with integrity, you will never amount to nothing. You will never be an NBA player. Because at the time, I wanted to be just like Michael Jordan. And that stuck to me harder than any whooping ever could have. And it put me on a path to want to be successful in athletics. But I still had this bad attitude. Growing up around violence gave me this bad attitude. And if you say something wrong to me, you got to throw the hands. Some of y'all know what that means. Now they say smoke. Back in the day, we should say 2-piece with a hot pepper. But some of y'all know what that is. So I used to have that attitude, and it kind of led me into high school still feeling like I had to defend myself and be that way. But one thing that changed is when I went to college. I was an All-American football player in high school, and I went to the University of Arizona, which was primarily white. And I'll tell you how this changed my trajectory, because I grew up in an all-black neighborhood. I went to Paul Laurence Dunbar High School in Fort Worth, Texas. And for those of you who know Paul Laurence Dunbar, the famous black poet, I went to that school and it was a bunch of drama there. It had some good parts when it comes to athletics, but when it comes to drama and people coming off the street in the school fighting, you know, people putting guns on each other in the parking lot. And all I knew was the perspective from the black community. And when I went to college, I saw something different. And I was like, dang, I don't think white people hate us as much as I thought they did. I was expecting people to be calling me the N-word and get off the campus, you know, but it didn't happen. And then I realized that it's only two types of people in the world. You got real people and you got fake people. And they come in all different colors. And I think I'm speaking to a lot of y'all's experiences, but the real change that happened in my life is when I found God. I'll never forget that day. 2008, I went down in Jesus' name, came up with the Holy Ghost, and I was speaking in tongues. Some of y'all tongue-filled people know what I'm talking about. I start preaching up in here. But God changed my life. I pulled my doggone pants up and started acting like who God had presented me to be from the very beginning. And what I always tell young people is that when does an apple tree become an apple tree? Not when the apples are falling off, but when it was a seed in the ground. It was already great as a seed in the ground. And I want young people to realize that, and God had to show that to me, that I was great even back in Dunbar High School. I was great even back when I was 8 years old smoking weed. And God had to bring that out of me. And it really caused me to stop looking at race and understand that we're all God's children. No matter what color you are, it don't even matter. And then that led me to, football didn't work out for me. You know, I wanted to go to the league. I was in the 2010 NFL draft. I didn't get drafted, broke my heart. I cried like a baby too, ripped my shirt. I was mad at God. How dare you do this to me? But then God had another plan for me. And I had never thought about being a police officer a day in my life. My only experience when I was 8, and they piled us in the car and they called us sardines at the time. And we were all mad. And we were wrong as two left shoes, but we were still mad at them. But I needed an opportunity. You know, I had a college degree. At the time, I had a small son. And I'm like, look, I got to put an X on the calendar because football is not yielding results. I got to transition to something else. I got a mouth to feed. And so I applied for everything in the city of Tucson. The police department called me back. And I mean, at first, I'll tell you how the phone call went. So at the time, me and my son's mom, we had gotten into a little argument over the phone. And then the next morning, I get a phone call, and they say, it's the Tucson Police Department. And I'm like, she done called the police on me. God dang. Want a brother to go to jail. And I'm like, yeah, how can I help you? And then they say, well, you applied for the job. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we can talk now. But I knew nothing about policing, so I said, you know what, I got to do a ride-along. I need to go see what this is like, see if I even like it. Went and did a ride-along with an officer named Sean Payne, the greatest man I met other than my daddy. Sean Payne, I pulled up on him in the parking lot. I said, look, man, I just want to do a ride-along. He said, come next week, we can roll. The first time in my life, I saw a hero. The first time in my life. I used to think these NFL players, and nothing against football players, you know, you work hard to get to that point that you're at. But I had never seen a man that went from changing a flat tire of an elderly woman to saving a young man's life who was attempting to commit suicide. I mean, we literally went there, we got the call, and we was going 70 miles per hour down a residential street. I ain't never gone that fast in a car that anybody found out about. But we were rolling. We almost died twice because people don't know how to move to the right. And we get to the scene, and he's running through the apartment complex, and they let me kind of run behind him. They kicked the door in, and once they got in, they let me peek around the corner, and the kid was literally cutting his wrists in the back room. It's like it was kids laying on the ground, and they had to jump over these kids. He was on a table cutting his wrists. And the craziest part about this is that when we got back into the car, my heart was still beating. I'm like, what just happened to us? And he went back to asking me, well, how's your family? And I'm like, what family? I got a family. I just seeing how he was. And he said, look, I do this every day. I do this all day. And I'm like, man, I have to do what this man is doing. I think it's a calling on my life. So I became a police officer. I did everything. I was on a SWAT team. I was a field trainer. I taught at the academy. I did all kinds. I was a PIO. I was a spokesperson for the police department, surprisingly enough. And it just made me change my mentality about how policing in America actually happens. Not what's on the media, not what people say, not what 2 or 3 people felt on a traffic stop, but what's really going on. And what I can say is that it opened my understanding that these officers are out here risking their lives every doggone day, all day. When you go to sleep and you dreaming, I don't know, about 2020 or something, I don't know, you dreaming, they're out there risking their lives. They're out there driving what we call code 3 lights and sirens. They're out here seeing the most horrible things that any human person can see, have to go home to their family and do it again the next day. And I'll tell you this, there's a minimal amount of room for racism on the police department. I'll be the first one to tell you that. There are some idiots on the police department. There's idiots that do your teeth, they're dentists. There's idiots that's your pastor. Not y'all pastor, because y'all pastors are good. I'm talking about the other people down the street. But there's idiots everywhere. But most people are literally trying to do what's right. And let me give you some numbers. Because a young lady on Houston campus told me the other day, she go, my biggest fear is being killed by police officers. And I'm like, dang, we lost, man. Your biggest fear is not heart disease, it's not none of that other stuff. And I said, young lady, do you realize that it's a higher probability of you being struck by lightning than being killed unarmed by police officers? And some of you guys may not know this number because I looked it up. 7 people in the United States of America, 7 black people in the United States of America have been shot unarmed. And anybody that know anything about law enforcement, just because you're unarmed don't mean you're not a deadly threat. But just for the sake of argument, all of them are bad shootings, right? I gave her that. I said 7 of them. There's 40 million black people in America. That number is 0.000000175% of black community is getting killed unarmed. That's like 1 in every 6 million people. 6 million is 12 times the size of Atlanta. And you're telling me that's your biggest fear? That is unjustifiable. What is the media telling us? What are our parents teaching us? We should not have fear of police officers. How about you go down there and fill out an application and become a police officer? If you fear the police officer so much, become one, patrol your own community. Therefore, you can dictate how people are treating your people. Because that's what I did. I signed up and I treated everyone with respect. You know, I prayed for them. I respected them. I gave them hope when they had no hope. And sometimes I gave them hope when I didn't have no hope. And that's what police officers do. Not all of them, but that's what most of them do. And I want us to get out of the mentality of believing what everybody's telling us. That somehow we're these victims. Somehow the white man is just looming over us and waiting for us to mess up so he can throw us out of a job. Listen, if a man turn you down on a job today, you better go down the whole street, that job, until you get a job. Nobody owe you nothing. You work hard for everything you get. And if somebody ever hand you something that ain't worth having, I think we should understand that, internalize that. Because we ain't victims, ladies and gentlemen. We ain't nobody's victims. Nobody in the history of the black community from the time we came in here on ships to today was a victim. They put us in a situation, and what did we do? We escaped through the Bible. I think they can almost preach on his own. The God of the Bible gave us a pathway to be free. We used it then, we should be using it now. If I don't say nothing else, I want us to understand that. Know your position. Know that each and every person in here, you have something that God has put into you that you are supposed to be exercising, right? You're supposed to be displaying to the world. And we will all become better when you find out what that is. Don't be looking down the street at somebody and wondering what they're doing. Why you look in the mirror first. What am I doing? What can I do to succeed? How am I treating people? When a cop pulled me over, what am I saying to him first? And this is a principle that my dad always told me. He said, you know, the teacher would say I did something at the school and whatever the case. He's like, no. I said, no, Daddy. The lady, she'd be mean to me and all that. He go, I don't take care of that lady. What did you do? Because you finna get that whooping, not your teacher. So I just want us to understand that two major situations that I want to touch on that I think is being displayed in the media, and I don't want you guys to fall victim to this mentality of jumping on the bandwagon. So there's been the situation in the Central Park 5. How many people know about the Central Park 5? And so here's what I say, and I don't know if people are going to like what I say or not. I can't help that. What I will say is that do your research. Don't just listen to somebody because they SJW and all down the street and they swear they love black people. They are just doing this for money, and they got you out here looking like a fool. If you look at the situation between the Central Park 5 and you read what the president supposedly wrote out in the paper, he didn't even mention the Central Park 5 in the paper. He didn't even mention them not one time. Some of y'all probably didn't know that. Who read what he pulled out in the paper? Didn't mention it one time. He didn't mention them kids by name. Some people try to tell you that they were interviewed and they didn't have an adult. Everybody had an adult present. Don't watch that movie. Don't watch that. That documentary was a lie. We sit there and I looked at the facts and then I watched the documentary and it made my blood boil. They tried to make it seem like these little kids weren't doing nothing. They were in the park. They brutalized other people, which they were charged with. And then they all admitted to doing some form of harm to that young lady that got killed. And if we look at it and we say, let's stop getting emotional and look at facts so we can actually defend people that need to be defended. I'm going to give you another scenario. Rodney Reed. How many know who Rodney Reed is? Everybody's out. Rodney Reed is innocent. Rodney Reed is innocent. He may be. But did they tell you that he raped 3 other women? Did they tell you that he raped a 12-year-old? No, they didn't tell you that. Yeah. DNA sample came back after he turned himself in for a drug charge, came back that he raped 3 other women, one he kidnapped, one he raped near a train track, and then he broke into the house of a 12-year-old who was by herself and raped her in I don't know how many different directions. He bit her, blindfolded her. Oh, they don't tell you that, did they? They lied to us. And I'm cool with doing an investigation saying, hey, if that brother didn't kill the young lady that they're accusing him of, then he shouldn't be put to death. But the forensic evidence showed that his DNA was on her or in her. And the reason why is because they were in a relationship. They try to tell you that he didn't even know the girl. So I want us to be mindful of these things. It's another situation that came out, and then I'm gonna finish. It's a young lady, Felicity Huffman, got into that school conflict or whatever, right? And then there was a black lady, and I forget her name now. It was a black lady who they said got sentenced to 5 years in prison because she sent her kid to another school. How many of y'all read that situation? How many of y'all believe that she got 5 years for sending her kid to an alternate school? Okay, y'all smart. What am I doing? I need to go sit down. But listen, it was a lie. She had got caught for prostitution, and she had pled to 5 years because of another offense. I'm just stating facts. But that's what I'm saying, y'all. I want us to also understand not only are we not victims, but we need to be informed. Let's not jump on a bandwagon on every situation. When an officer does something wrong, let's do our research. And because I don't like it when people say all black people are this way. I don't like that. And we shouldn't say all cops are this way either. We should be mindful to take each individual situation, do our research, do our due diligence, and say that dude is a piece of crap. He should go to jail. This dude did not do anything. He should be let free. And I know because I'm in the crowd of people who are dedicated, who love this country. Can I get a love this country? That I know I'm speaking to the choir, but I want to thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate you listening to what I have to say. Hopefully there's something I said was sticking to the hearts of everybody, but I want you to stand up one more time before I get off the stage. Repeat after me. I'm free. God made me free. I'm free. God made me free. I'm free. God made me free. Amen. Thank you, guys.
Love is a condition so powerful. It may be that which holds the stars in the firmament. It may be that which pushes and urges the blood in the veins. Courage. You have to have courage to love somebody, because you risk everything. Everything.
Without further ado, please give a big welcome to your BLEXIT founder and final speaker, Candace Owens.
Wow. Absolutely packed in here. This is amazing. Have you guys been enjoying yourselves? Yeah? You learning a little bit, right? Are you feeling inspired? Right? You know, I had this conversation, which I kind of wanted to reiterate. I was talking to my husband, and he put up the perfect, love that, a great analogy. He said, the left is like the Titanic. I want you to think about that for a second, right? A bunch of liberals got on board, right, and said, not even God can sink this ship, right? Not even God can sink this ship. All in the ocean, it's amazing, the media's on their side, this ship is amazing, it's never gonna go down. And then they hit a little iceberg, and they said, oh, it's all right, it's just a little iceberg, it's the Titanic. Not even God can sink the Titanic, it's a little iceberg. And he likened that to when they hit me in the media, right? Oh, it's all right, we'll get rid of her, right? She was a little loud, but we'll get rid of her. We'll smear her. We'll say she supports Hitler. We'll say she hates herself. We'll say she's a self-hating black. It's fine. We'll get rid of her. It's just a little iceberg. But that was just the tip of the iceberg, see? I was just the tip. What was buried beneath was all of BLEXIT. It was 60 years of injustice done to the minority community in America. And now they're panicking because they realize they have a problem. And you know what? They didn't put enough lifeboats on the Titanic. They don't really know what's going to happen to the left anymore. The liberals don't know what to think because suddenly black Americans are waking up and ordaining to think for themselves. The challenge I have always presented, I have never gotten on a stage and told people who to vote for, what to vote for, why they should vote, because I don't consider BLEXIT to be a political organization. We're not. We are an organization that focuses on free thinking, the ability to say what you think and the ability to describe to somebody why you think it. That's the most important part. Not just thinking something, but knowing why you think it. Why? Why is such an important question. I ask people all the time, why do you fight? Why do you get up? Why did you show up and come to BLEXIT today? What is driving you in the actions that you do day in and day out? I know what drives me. I tell people all the time the story, and I'm actually just floored that I get to say it on this stage tonight. It's going to be extra special, but you know, for me, running around the nation and speaking on college campuses has been something like a nightmare. It's basically just rooms full of toddlers, people crying, overprivileged, telling me that they're oppressed when they live in the greatest nation. If you live in America today, you are the most overprivileged people that have ever lived in the face of human history. That is the truth, okay? And so I play this game where the first thing I do when I get on a college campus is I say, before we get started, because you know I got tons of protesters there. Usually I have Black Lives Matter in the back just waiting for me to say something. At one event at UCLA, they actually had a group of people that were playing Beyonce music trying to drown out the sound so my voice couldn't be heard. You have Antifa outside making physical threats. So I start at the beginning. I say, before we get started, we don't even have to yell at each other. I'm going to ask a very simple question in this room, okay? It's 2019 in America. How many college students in this room, this is what I ask, think that America is a more racist country today than it was in the 1940s? 60% of the hands go up. 60%. Why are you even sending your kids to school? Seriously, 60% of the hands go up. And I say, you got to be kidding me. That is brainwash right there. That is media brainwashing at work. And what drives me is that, because that's what makes me angry. So many of you guys have followed me since the beginning, since my red pill black days, right? YouTube. When I realized that something was wrong, I decided to start a YouTube channel. I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know that people were going to find me and start sharing my videos, but I knew something was really rotten, and I wanted to present a different perspective. Because what seemed to happen to the black family seemed to be systematic. In the 1960s, they came around and they started offering welfare, right? Knocking on doors, oh, you need some welfare for your family, government help. Let me tell you something, the bigger government gets, the smaller the individual gets. Okay? Government is trying to replace family. You have a problem, they don't want you to go to God, they want you to go to government, right? We have a solution. The experiment was Black America. The experiment when LBJ created the Great Society Act was Black America. We're going to give them a little something, just a little bit of something, right? Not much. They're not going to get ahead, but it'll keep them coming back. It created addicts. I call this government addicts, addicted to government. I don't know anybody who has stayed on welfare and gotten ahead in their life, because it wasn't built to help them get ahead of their lives. It was built to help them get addicted to government. It is a drug, okay? And they knew what they were doing, because here was the plan. Once you break down the family, right, you know what's going to happen to the youth. When you don't have mom and dad at home around a table telling you what's right and what's wrong, where's the youth going to go? They're going to pursue that paternity somewhere else. They're going to run to the streets. Suddenly hip-hop artists become mom and dad. Beyonce and Jay-Z become mom and dad, right? You put on a record and you're learning something, right? The angry hip-hop artists are telling you how you should live your life. And that's what happened. And then they seized control of the education system and they started brainwashing, because they know the single mom, she had to be at work, right? So it's okay. School's free. Drop off your kid at school. The public school system is free. Fight for the free school system. And what happens? You end up with a bunch of brainwashed children who believe they're victims before they even try to get out. They're bitter and they're angry at the world before they even try to attempt to make something of themselves. This is the systemic oppression that exists today. Our education system and the systematic breakdown of family. In the 1960s, there was a guy named Patrick Moynihan who used to come out with a report. In the 1960s, he came up with a report on single mothers. And he said, oh my goodness, we have a problem in the black community. The single motherhood rate in the 1960s was 23%. He said, this is an epidemic. 23% single motherhood rate in the black community. And they all said, oh, this is an epidemic. Today, as we stand and sit in this room, the single motherhood rate in the black community is 74%. You want to know why atheism is becoming mainstream? Why you see people mocking people? I mean, I was floored to see on The View, Joy Behar, boo, mocking the vice president because he believes in Jesus Christ, right? Because he said that he doesn't go out to eat with another woman without his wife. She was mocking his values. It's become mainstream and popular and current to mock God. Why? Because you have to be, the government needs atheism. That's what they want. They don't want you to believe in anything. They don't want you to believe in family. They don't want you to believe in God. They don't want you to believe in anything but government. And that's what we're trying to reverse. That's what we have to reverse if we're going to fix the issues in our community. I tell people all the time that I was lucky. I don't know which way I was going to end up. I was a liberal. You guys know I started on the left in the same way. But I was fortunate that in my formative years, I grew up in my grandfather's house, in my grandmother's house. And it was, a little different. My grandfather grew up when there was actually real racism in America, right? Not just, oh, you offended me in my feelings, so I'm going to call you a racist. I disagree with you, so you're a racist, right? Real racism. He grew up in the segregated South. His first job was when he was 5 years old, laying tobacco out to dry on a sharecropping farm. This is what it was in the South, in North Carolina, in Fayetteville. One of 12 brothers and sisters. But he got up every single day and he went to work. There was no nonsense. He's picked cotton before. There was no nonsense. He grew up with the real KKK, right? Not, I don't like the president, so we're going to say the KKK's back and now black people can't go outside. The real KKK. And even when he tells us those stories, when he tells us the stories of what it was like with the KKK, he never sounds like a victim. It's exactly how he used to say. He used to say, my daddy, the KKK used to come around our house, and my daddy would grab the shotgun and shoot back at them boys. Talk about that. Power. There was no victimhood. And the amazing thing is, he married my grandmother when they were 17 years old, came up north, married my grandmother, and never once in their household did my grandfather say anything bad about white people. I wasn't raised to view myself as less than. I simply never learned how to be a victim. That's the way things were. That wasn't the society that I grew up in. Instead, and this is shocking, my grandparents believed in some other stuff, really crazy stuff, I'll tell you. First and foremost, they believed in God, right? Faith, something bigger than themselves. When I was growing up, we used to have my grandpa used to fix big Southern breakfasts. I should be overweight. He used to grits, eggs, bacon, pancakes, hot chocolate every single morning around the table. And we'd have to read from the Bible. Me and my brothers and sisters, we'd have to read from the Bible every single morning. He'd go around and he'd ask us questions. We were on our best behavior. I was scared because as a child, I believed that through my grandfather's praying, he had an instant direct line to God. And when we would act up, he would incorporate us into the prayer. And I always tell this story, and he might not remember it, but one night I was cold, so I got up in the middle of the night and I turned the heat up in our room. Me and my sister had bunk beds, and you weren't supposed to play with the heat in Granddad's house. But I played with the heat. I couldn't read it, but we woke up and it was very hot. And I went down for breakfast and I said good morning, because if we didn't say good morning, he wouldn't serve us our plate. You couldn't get food. So you sit around, everybody else got a plate. You couldn't get your food if you didn't say good morning. But I said good morning. I was ready for my plate. Granddad broke out into prayer, and you won't believe what he did. He said, "Dear Heavenly Father, please help Candace to realize she shouldn't be finishing with the heat." I got up from the table and I ran and I started crying. And I just said, "Why did you have to tell God? Keep it between the family. You have to tell God." That fear, right, of my grandfather's rules and knowing that there was something bigger that was watching me, that had to put me on my best behavior. In the end, that's what saved me, but not in the beginning. Because when I went to school, I was embarrassed about that. It wasn't cool to be a person that said, "Oh, we read the Bible this morning." You don't say that in school. You don't say that in secular America. It's not cool to read the Bible in the morning. It's not cool to talk about praying. And I went down a very liberal route. I say this all the time. I took the most liberal route to conservatism there ever was. I was embarrassed of how faithful my grandparents were. All of that embarrassed me. But by the grace of God, I was saved. I really was. Because those things that felt like freedom, going out, sneaking out, doing what you wanted to do, partying, drinking, right? Experimenting, all that thing that felt like freedom, eventually it started to feel like bondage. It started to feel like bondage. What is it about liberalism? It's so free that you feel like you're being enslaved somehow, right? You look up and you have nothing. You don't believe in family. You don't believe in faith because YOLO, you're free. Well, what do you have to show for anything if you don't have a family intact? My grandfather's a happy story because when he retired, him and my grandmother moved back down south to Fayetteville, North Carolina, where he started, and he purchased the property, the sharecropping farm that he grew up on. That is the American dream, right? That's the American dream. And you're going to tell me that he grew up in the 1940s in the segregated South and did that, and I'm going to act like I'm oppressed. I'm supposed to go outside and act like I'm oppressed. Nope, I'm an overprivileged American. It's what everybody's suffering from. In America, we are suffering from peace. We don't know what to do with the fact that everything is okay if we just take a deep breath and get to work. I was super upset. Many of you guys know that I got married in August. I get to start my own family now and give them the same rules my grandfather gave me and incorporate my children, someday children, into the prayer and scare them. And at my wedding, my grandfather was supposed to walk me down the aisle, and a couple of days before he had dialysis treatment, and he couldn't make it, and I was devastated on the day of my wedding. So I haven't seen him since my wedding, but he's here tonight, my grandfather. Stand up, Granddaddy. You guys be careful before he starts praying and gets, oh, you guys are going to be in trouble. I still don't put my elbows on the table when I eat. I want you to know that, Granddad. I'm good. But we thought to end this BLEXIT rally, since the movement is really about courage and love, and my grandfather couldn't be there, and no one has seen it, we would play the video from my wedding so my grandfather can see what it was. So, cue the wedding video.
We're on this mission in life to find peace with exactly who and what we are, to take pride in our thoughts, talents, and flaws, and to stop this incessant worry that we can't be loved as we are. By the grace of God, my life's mission is complete. Because of George Farmer, it will forever be okay. And that's something that Candace wrote for me, and I would say because of Candace Farmer, it will forever be okay. So Candace, without you, you've changed my world, darling. You have made me a more generous person, more thankful, more kind, more caring. I don't know who I would be without you, to be honest. I look at our lives in the last 8 months since we met, and I look at the things we've done together, and they would be the things that most people would do in a decade or a lifetime. If I can do 100 times less or 100 times more than I've done this year, I know that I'll be very happy for the rest of my life. I can't wait to grow old with you. I'm looking forward to every single day with you for the rest of my life.
Candace turned from friend to family to the sister that I never had and never knew that I wanted or needed. Though I've seen a lot of changes over the years, there's always been a few things that have remained constant. Candace is bright, driven, caring, and 100% flies by the seat of her pants. So to George, thank you for bringing Candace so many smiles and so much laughter. I can see just by the way you look at her how much you adore her. This is the happiest I've seen her. It's clear that she's fallen in love and found her soulmate. May you love each other more with every day that you spend together, and may your life be filled with lots of laughter and amazing adventures.
Separately, you're both incredible, inspiring, and intelligent, but together, you're an unstoppable freight train with a love at first sight story, and true love that everyone here can feel, wants to be around, wants to emulate, follows along with, and at this point, even wants to raise a glass to.
Candace, from the first moment I met you, I knew you
were going to be a superstar. Today, you are radiant, beautiful, and it's a joy, and I'm honored to be here today in your presence.
Now, in the presence of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, we have come together to witness the marriage of George and Candace, to pray for God's blessing on them, to share their joy, and to celebrate their love.
I, George Thomas Stahl Farmer, take thee, Candace Amber Owens, to be my wedded wife,
To have and to hold from this day forward,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer,
for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health, to love, cherish, and serve,
in sickness and in health, to love, cherish, and serve,
till death parts us or Christ returns, according to God's holy law.
till death parts us or Christ returns, according to God's holy law.
In the presence of God and man, I make this vow.
In the presence of God and man, I make this vow.
George, I give you this ring as a sign of our marriage.
With my body, I honor you.
With my body, I honor you.
All that I am, I give to you, and all that I have, I share with you.
All that I am, I give to you, and all that I have, I share with you.
Within the love of God, Father, Son.
Within the love of God, Father, Son,
and Holy Spirit.
and Holy Spirit.
In the presence of God and before this congregation, George and Candace have given their consent. I therefore proclaim that they are husband and wife. Those whom God has joined, let no one put asunder. Now is a great time for the groom to kiss his bride. I present to you Honourable George and Candace Farmer.
I try to say it 'cause you hate it when I can't decide. So when you go, you need to know that I'll be right behind. Far away from here, I could be finding other reasons, but I need away from here, where we can finally make it, you and I. Far away from here, I could be finding other reasons, but I need away from here, where we can finally make it, you and I. Where we can finally make it, you and I. Where we can finally make it, you and I. Where we can finally make it, you and I. Where we can finally make it, you and I. So when it's cold outside, let me keep you warm, baby. That's how it's supposed to be. 'Cause darling, you got my temperature rising. You got me burning up, and I never felt nothing like it. Girl, you remind me of summer nights. Girl, you got me feeling alright. Oh, baby, summer nights make it for the rest of Summer nights. Summer nights. Summer nights. She's on fire. She got me on fire. She's on fire. She got me on summer nights. She's on fire. She got me on fire. She's on fire. Summer nights.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Go out, pursue your love. Oh my God, she's crying. So cute. Everybody go out, get your happily ever after, and remember that BLEXIT is love at the end of the day. We got love. Every time.
We got love, love, love. You better believe it. We got love, love, love. You better believe it.
I live in abundance. Love is the new money. I'm mentally wealthy, spiritually conscious. I'm fresh out of Onyx. I'm ballin' and ballin'. I play with the hundreds. Love is the new money. That's my frequency. Spark up, burn the sage. Clear the room, kill the hate. Love is the new wave. Play catch with the hundreds. Love is the new money. I'm just chillin' with the homies. Homies where the heart is. Ah! Play catch with the hundreds. Love is the new money. I'm just chillin' with the homies. Homies where the heart is.
We got love, love, love. You better believe it.